You need a camera, sir.
Well, I do have,
I know.
I do have this thing. Oh no, I just gave it to. I have a girl that works for me, and she's into photography, and she's like, "That's an awesome photography camera," and I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, that's what that's for. That's not for recording videos.
It
you found out the first time.
It shut off 12 minutes the first time, and then 12 minutes the second time.
Yeah, well, that was the limit.
Junk.
Yeah.
Junk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need like a studio.
You do.
This
isn't it. I mean, or you're remodeling this to make it it.
I can't do that. Don't have that much money. Need this for work.
I'll pick a corner.
I know. No, I want to build a barn off the back, like a big pole barn off the back side. Yeah, because then I could put all this in there, and this can become just offices.
Yeah.
I think it'd be a lot nicer. Because I literally just got this place maybe 5 months ago, and it was so run down. Empty of all tenants. Like, nobody was in any of it.
Right.
And I got tenants into the bottom, top. I own both the buildings on both sides. And I had to renovate. Yeah, it came with the whole parcel.
Oh, really?
Ew.
Yeah. It never looked good, this area.
I know. But I'm kind of trying to... Oh, this is much better.
Okay.
I don't like the computer because then I can't see you.
Right.
Yeah, no, the guy, I got it, I think, for a pretty good deal.
Okay.
And it was just problems across the board. I had no tenants. I had to fix everything. And yeah, it's always been kind of a nasty little area.
Yeah.
I want to get it up, you know? So we've been slowly fixing things here and there. But yeah, part of my dream is, because I have a big backyard, big pole barn, and then I could put all this stuff into there and turn this into just offices, and then maybe a little studio.
Oh yeah.
Mount some cameras. Like,
yep.
I want a real production.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, this part's easy for me.
Sure.
I enjoy the conversation.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Sure. Having a conversation and just like going back and forth is one thing, but like having it look good and sound good all at the same time is gonna it'll boost up your views. Right?
And it's a struggle. Well, so I'm not in this for views,
no, but
fame,
you want
or money.
The conversation to continue
Yes.
after your podcast,
Yes.
right? So after you've got your podcast posted, you don't want it just to stop with the two of us. You want everybody else to be able to chime in and say, "Oh yeah, this is my story about that too."
Yes.
You know?
It's
about connecting.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. That is. I'm not really good at making notes. I have a lot of thoughts.
Okay.
I have a lot of thoughts when I'm driving around. And I'm like, oh, this would be such a good idea. And I want to talk about this, and then gone. But that's like part of my mission is life is so hard and complex. I mean, so hard and complex, no matter what you do. No matter what you're doing.
Life.
Oh.
I dream about it constantly.
I think that nobody has.
No.
Because I thought being a business owner, it'd be like, oh, I don't
you work for yourself. It's gonna be fine.
Yeah, everything will be okay. It's
you get to
way
make your
more
own
stressful.
Schedule.
No, it's way more stressful. It's terrible.
I never want to own my own business.
Smart. Good for you. It's
not gonna happen.
No, it's and New York State is like one of the worst places you can try to do it.
I've heard. Yeah.
I got tax bills. You wouldn't believe.
Guess what? I get money back every year. I work for someone.
Yes.
And I have a kid. So I just have it good right
now.
You know?
Yeah, you're living you are living the dream.
Well, not yet.
Yeah.
I do have dreams that I can't do in Cheektowaga, right? Like,
listen, this is the podcast. What is the dream?
So I want a 5-year plan. I have a 5-year plan. It's not a solid plan, but it's a plan, right?
You got to start somewhere.
It's not it's just dreams. And they're kind of grandiose in a way where I don't know if I'll be able to do it alone, on my own. I've been single 3 years, right?
Good for you.
I moved into my house with my daughter 3 years ago, basically. Like after I fucking love being single, by the way. That's a whole nother topic. I can tell you all about it.
I love my wife. I love you, honey. But a family and being married and putting that with like all the other shit you gotta deal with is tough.
I know.
It's tough. Uh-huh. So yeah, you're living the dream.
Worrying about me and my daughter is all I really, and my little dog. But that's all I really, really have.
Yeah.
But again, I don't want to live in Cheektowaga. I don't want to be in this neighborhood. It's okay. I have like really nice neighbors and everything, but I don't want to be able to spit on my neighbor's house. Like I could literally open a window and just Hallelujah. The side of this house
So,
hit him.
I moved to Chaffee. I live on a farm now.
That's fucking amazing. I did see your post about like the not so glamorous side of farming or whatever with the scooping the poop.
Yeah, shoveling cow poop.
I was like, I would die for that.
You think that, and so you got to do it all the time. No. It is like
sure. I'm sure it gets monotonous like everything else.
No, it's like it's what's the word I'm looking for? Bittersweet.
Sure.
Like, I was chasing that dream too, and then now I got it, and now I'm shoveling, and I'm like, I thought this was supposed to be fun. Yeah. It's not that fun.
I'm not sure but I want that many things that poop, but I do want some poop.
Yes. Well, and I just seen a video that said the other day, if you look back 10 years in your history, the person you are now,
oh my God, right?
You would be like, oh, I wish I had that person's life.
Yeah.
But now that you're here, you don't really appreciate it. And now that's like me not appreciating. I would have killed to shovel poop 5 years ago.
So I have a little bit of a different outlook on things. Like, so my life got really bad during high school.
Yeah.
Used a lot of drugs, hung out with the wrong people, fucking dropped out before we graduated,
Yeah. You're so close.
Threw away fucking, I was star lacrosse player, right?
I remember.
Threw away all of my, like my junior year, I was being scouted.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I remember you were really good. You were like all-time leading scorer, captain.
Yep. No, I wasn't a captain, but I definitely was leading scorer, and all state or all county.
Yeah.
With my memory's so bad. It's
I know.
Ridiculous.
The specifics always elude me. I can remember the idea, and I have it. Like I can see it in my mind, but I can't articulate it a lot of times.
Sometimes,
yeah.
So I feel like because I started using so young, like my memory is just shit. So don't let your kids use drugs. It's gonna fuck them up for life.
Well, there's studies now that when you're young and you're developing, your brain's still growing. So when you use stuff and do stuff, or hit your head, or it's so bad for you. It's not like when you do it as an older person. And I have the opposite. I didn't start doing drugs until later in life.
I have no issues with adults doing anything, right? Well, some things, but like whatever. But fuck it. If I could, I would. You know what I'm saying? But I've been clean 12 years.
Wow.
12 years.
Good for you.
I got clean a year-ish. I can't say a whole year after my daughter was born. I left her dad. Because we used together, whatever.
Oof, and it setting yourself up for failure.
Fuck yeah. It was so bad. So I got out of there, didn't get clean right away, but had to go to rehab a couple of times. I went to a 30-day and then a year-long program with my daughter.
Wow.
Right? So there was a lot that happened in between fucking dropping out and getting to rehab.
Life.
And it was all bad.
Life.
All of it was bad. I ran. I left home. I moved to the Falls. I used with people there. I didn't talk to my parents for a year or two. It was a long time. So there was a lot of things that happened in between that and a lot of life lessons learned, right? So now that I've been clean 12 years, I appreciate every moment that I have.
That's amazing.
Every single moment that I have in life. Even though I have dreams and goals, right, and aspirations and grandiose things that I want to do in my life, I still feel like each moment is a gift.
Yes.
Because I could have died so many other times.
Oh my God.
Right? And being in tune with my surroundings and just here, right?
Yeah.
It's just such a gift of life, I'm not religious, but I am spiritual.
You are enlightened.
Yeah, for sure.
Me and Sean Galvin talk a lot. We're very good friends, yeah.
Good.
And we talk about this kind of stuff a lot.
Hell yeah.
And
life is good when you want it, when you can see it. You know what I mean?
But sometimes you have to have the bad happen to you.
Absolutely.
To make you appreciate it. And I was just talking about this balance, because I've had, most of my life has been great. I haven't had any real adversity. I've been very fortunate.
Sure.
I'm a white dude that just went through life.
Is it fortunate, or is it would you have rather had more adversity in your life?
See, I don't know, because I really do appreciate every moment, and I
fuck it, great.
I try to be positive. I try to better myself every day. I try to be good to other people. I try to have a sense of community. So I don't know how I got to that point where others have to go through the shit to get there, but I got there.
Good.
And yeah, I don't know. It's
amazing.
It's really hard. Life is really hard.
It is hard. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. But like, you still like come to appreciate the hard things. Right?
Yeah. Oh, that's what I was saying. You have to have the hard things to appreciate
the good, easier things and the better.
And I think when you have a fucked up childhood or a fucked up teenagehood or whatever it is called, like it just a lot of people seem to find their way out. Not a lot. Some 50-50, right?
Maybe. I don't know the stats on that.
Some pass away, some continue into it. Well, I think it depends on a lot of things. When you get into that, when it happens to you, what the circumstances are. It's very situational.
It is.
So, I mean, I'm glad
your motivation too.
I'm glad you found your way out.
Fuck yeah, it's been really nice. So,
well, yeah, it's great.
I'm doing great. Everything's perfect. No, I'm just kidding. It's not perfect.
Wow.
It
never will be perfect.
And I don't care. That's fine. You know, I'm not looking for perfection. I'm just looking for happiness.
Oh my God, you sound just like me. I swear to God, that's all I really care about anymore is being happy.
Yeah.
Like, I think about what's the point of life all the time.
Yeah, or what's your purpose? You know, like.
What if there is none?
That's fine.
Right. What if there is no point to life? There's not like okay, I'm going to give you a shot at being a human and your goal is to make as much money as you can. No. You just get born and then you exist.
Yes.
Right?
That happens. Yes, that's exactly what happens.
And then there's no point.
Right.
There's no point to it. I just mean there's no like, you know how everything in our life you're working to make money. There's a goal. There's goals.
Yeah.
You can set your own goals, but really in the grand picture of things, you could be born and just be a bum for your entire life till you die and like, okay. Yeah, I'm just saying like there's no we don't know this though because we don't know if God is real, if heaven's real. But
if there's a divine purpose.
Yes, yeah. No, or do you just exist? And if you're just existing,
make of
it, right? But if you're just existing, why not be happy all the time?
Yeah,
that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at.
Yeah,
I don't know if I have a purpose. I don't think I have one. I don't think any human has, and I think we are born.
I think they're a lot smaller than you think. You know what I mean? Like I think purposes can be very tiny.
Yeah.
Right? My purpose in life, I feel, is to make an impact in somebody's life, whether it's just 1 or 100 or 10 million.
But that's a purpose you set.
Correct.
Oh, right. Sure. I'm saying a divine.
Is there a divine?
Right. Is there a divine purpose? Yeah. No, there's no. I mean, people argue that the Bible is like the manual, but like there's so many different religions, we'll never know which one's right. Right. I believe what you believe. By the way, I'm agnostic. I just believe that there's something bigger than us that we can't understand.
Spiritual. That's where I'm at.
I like spiritual. Yeah. I should say that instead of agnostic.
Yeah. Well, I got that from NA, so I'm not taking credit for that.
I feel like NA's got the best shit because they got to help a lot of people.
Fuck yeah, AA, NA, whatever. Like I'm NA because it was more than just alcohol for me. But like my program taught me that I needed to find my own higher power.
Yes.
Right? I didn't have to have anybody else's higher power. I didn't have to, believe in a God, a religion, or it's not a religious program. It's spiritual,
I'm sorry. I'm ignorant. I totally thought you meant AA. What does NA stand for?
Narcotics Anonymous. Instead of Alcoholics Anonymous, narcotics. So it's everything.
That was pretty obvious.
It's an umbrella of every drug or alcohol or anything.
Oh, okay.
So it's Alcoholics Anonymous is for somebody that just had a drinking problem.
Which is a huge problem.
It's a huge problem.
A lot of people drink.
Right.
I haven't had a drink in like 4 months. Not a sip.
Good for your
body. On my journey, I'm getting really into health and wellness and fitness and well-being because I know that's the base to being happy. If my body isn't working right, no matter how much I think and focus and pray or do this or do that, I won't be happy because chemically my body's in rough shape, which will make me depressed, which will make me... So to be able to get on that journey of spiritualness, I have to get my body right first and foremost.
Sure. Yeah.
Right?
Well, it's part of it.
Right.
Absolutely.
I mean, for you, NA, like not doing the drugs anymore.
Not doing them, yeah.
Right. But it allowed you to start being enlightened, to have the mindset to...
It took so many years, too. Like, it's so funny how long that stuff stays in your body,
How old you are?
Shut up. Don't even talk about my age. Don't talk about your age, my age, any one of our ages.
I can't believe.
It's crazy how time flies, right? My daughter's 13.
That's wild.
Can you believe it?
No.
She's a freaking teenager already, and I'm making a 5-year plan for when she's 18. You know, like
that's life.
I'm like, seriously, I'm ready to like. Well, it's okay. So let's go back to my 5-year.
Yeah, we gotta go back. We gotta write the notes.
Got on a tangent here. So my 5-year plan is to literally sell the house that I just bought 3 years ago, right? Or
why not?
4 years. This is my 4th year.
Yeah.
Going into my 4th year now, and I'm gonna sell this house. As soon as I find some land, I will live in a freaking tent if I have to.
Oh my God.
On the land. My daughter's not going to be with me. I'll let her stay at my mom's house or something. She'll be 18 years old. So I'm going to get out of here.
Yep.
I'll have my freedom of wherever I want to live, whatever state I want to be in.
Yes.
You know, I may not move too far away from mom and dad, right? Because, you know, they'll need me.
Yeah, family.
Yeah, I love them, right?
Yeah.
But like, I also like want to not be around people sometimes. I want to choose when to be around people. Yes. I don't want to have to walk outside and my neighbor's going, "Hi, neighbor."
It's too close.
Yes.
That's what I was going to say.
Yes.
I lived in Cheektowaga, and I could hear my neighbor's music in his garage.
Yep.
That drives me nuts.
Yep. I can't sit on my front porch without my neighbor coming over.
You want privacy.
No.
You want a little bit of privacy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I want some. Yeah. I want to be able to go outside and
do whatever you want
without my neighbor asking me what I planted. I'm
like,
none of your business, sir. No, I love my neighbors, but I'm on a corner. I'm on the corner house, so like I get everybody walking their dogs down down the backyard of my house, right?
Yes.
And they go, "What'd you plant this year?" I'm like, "It's raspberries and blueberries."
Don't feel like talking to you. I'm just gardening.
But like I'm just trying to be nice, and like I don't want to be mean and be like, "I don't really feel like talking to you right now."
But you don't.
But I can't say that to people. Like,
why not?
Well, because it makes their day.
So
to have that short conversation with them.
Yeah.
It makes their day.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm conflicted, okay,
yeah,
because
me too.
on my spiritual journey in health and wellness, I found that the less I care about what others think about me, the happier I am.
Yeah.
Because when you spend all your time worried about, and there's levels to this, like celebrities, all they care about is how they look because people look at them like they want to be famous. Mm-hmm. The less I care about what people think about me, it allows me to be more me. It lets me enjoy life because I'm not worried, oh, did I just piss off that guy? When really he just already forgot about me. But I'm sitting there thinking about
what could I have said?
Yeah.
What was it?
Yeah, you're overanalyzing, overthinking.
Yeah. I do that sometimes. I don't think that I do it a lot anymore. But I do I don't think it's about that though for me and my neighbors and stuff. I think it's more about it's more, I guess, people pleasing, not what they think about me. I want to make you shut up.
Yeah, that's my point.
I know.
That is caring what they think.
Because if I'm, you're right. If I'm not going to say I don't want to talk right now, then I care what they think. You're right.
But I'm not saying you should. I'm not right. I'm not saying you, but I think it's because you have a sense of community, I do. I have a sense of community. But there's times that I'm going to put myself first, otherwise I'm going to be miserable.
Sure.
And that would be a situation if that's your Zen time, maybe they just don't know not to bother you until you say, hey, hey, how are you? I'm doing my thing. Right. And they're like, oh, what we want? And you're like, no.
Nope, not today. Yeah.
Because you're worried about what they're going to think about you later.
Sure.
But it is a very fine line. It's a very fine line to navigate.
It is. Yeah, that's interesting.
So you're going to get some land, live in a tent.
I don't care where I'll sleep on the ground if I have to. But the grandiose goal is to have a few chickens and a goat or two, just to have.
Yep.
I'm not going to do anything with them.
Yep.
They're just going to live there with me.
Yep.
They're going to be my company, right?
That's so cool.
That's all I want.
We've got goats and chickens.
Lots of gardening. Lots of gardens.
Yes.
I love vegetable gardening. I love fruit gardening. I love I want to try planting apple trees.
Really?
I want a good clearing and then woods.
Do you have a green thumb?
I do.
Yeah.
I'm growing all kinds of shit right now in my house.
Really?
Yeah.
My wife has a couple starter plants.
Yeah.
Actually, we had this greenhouse I bought years ago, a little mini greenhouse with shelves.
Yeah.
And we started a bunch of starters because you got to hear.
Put your peppers in there.
Yeah,
put the seeds in.
I don't know. I'm not gonna lie.
You don't know if she's growing? No.
I don't. That's not my.
You eat it though.
I eat whatever she makes for dinner.
I bet you it was green beans, peppers.
No, we didn't. We haven't done any outside gardening stuff yet. We're just starting. I think she grew mint last year.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
But my neighbor has a huge garden. He gave me...
There's always too much.
I know.
Always too much.
Yeah, isn't that kind of weird?
I'll put a stand out.
Isn't it weird that you say that? Like, don't you think if everybody did a small garden, we'd all share?
We do.
And there's not too much. Mm-hmm. You just give it to somebody else, and then they give you something else, and then you have like a well-balanced...
Yeah, me and my mom did that last year. I grew some things, she grew other things, right? And like we just shared the thing.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So like I don't know, it was green beans and peppers or something or other for me, and then she did tomatoes and other. You know, it was so we like she lives around the corner basically.
Oh, that's so cool.
So she's super close. My dad, he's got 4, 6 whatever gardens at his house, but he lives in Branson.
Oh,
so
geez.
all the way near Sanborn, you know, that kind of stuff. So it's a 45, 50-minute ride from here. It's not bad. I don't mind the drive, but like too far away to go get the pepper out of his garden that I need for dinner.
I'm 30 minutes away, so it's normalized.
Yeah,
30 minutes for me. Like it feels like nothing. I get up in the morning and I go, but I feel like anything past 30 minutes, like 45, an hour and a half. Now you're putting in some serious drive time.
Yeah.
It takes
you like there often, I would want to.
Got like an hour left. You know, I'm not
just
about
started.
That. Well, we went to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Awesome vacation.
Is it still a nice area? Because last time I went, it was getting a little rundown.
Really? Mm-hmm. We were at North Myrtle Beach.
Okay, sure.
So I mean, it's a huge.
It's a huge strip. Like there's a lot of.
Well, because we went out on the beach at night, and you look down one end, and it's just lights and hotels and buildings as far as you can see, and as far. So to be honest, the area I was in, there was really nobody.
You didn't go very far, did you? Because like you can go all the way down that boardwalk and the stretch and everything. Like we just walked the whole area once.
Oh, so we were like 30 minutes north of the airport.
I can't remember.
Yeah. But anyways, it was great. And my point was we drove down and drove back.
Okay.
With 4 kids.
Yeah, no.
And the way down took us about 14 hours, 13 hours, and the way back took 16. And that was like...
I think that on the way back would be faster.
No. Because, what we did on the way down was we left at midnight. So the kids would sleep and there was no traffic. But then the next time I was like, I can't do it. Guys, I'm so sorry. Because it was only 5 days later. I'm like, I'm so tired.
I gotcha, yeah.
We left at 4 in the morning so I could sleep the night before.
Yeah.
And then the kids were up.
Yeah, you get a good night's sleep and then you drive for 14 hours.
Every hour, every other hour. Can we go to the bathroom? We're hungry. We're bored. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, can't you just sit down? I'm like, where's the benefit? Where's the benefit?
I know what happened. You had too many kids.
Yeah, that happens.
One's always enough, I say.
Well, the first was an oops.
Okay, that's okay. So was mine.
Yeah. Second one, we were like, well, why not? We have one already.
Might as well.
And then the third was we wanted to just round out the family, and boom, twins.
Oh, you have twins? Oh, no.
So 1, 2 twins. So I have 4.
How dare you?
I didn't try really hard to do any of this. My fault.
Yes.
I mean, it's a partnership.
Well,
it's a 50-50 thing.
If you say so.
Yeah. No, she does all. She's a great mom.
That's fantastic.
She does everything. She cooks, she cleans, she grocery shops, she does a laundry. We've got a very conservative type relationship.
I love that.
And
yeah, that's very nice. Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
I do like it
because you get so much pushback nowadays about being conservative.
Why?
I don't know.
You tell me.
You tell me because everybody seems to have a problem with it.
You're allowed to.
I know they're allowed to, but it's like it's not like I'm not doing my part.
I know.
Conservative just means like we have more traditional roles.
Traditional.
Yeah.
You can call it traditional more than you can call it conservative, right?
Well,
so
not anymore.
Well,
it's getting to that. That's like the first thing people want to say. Oh, it's conservative. Oh, it's bad. Blah blah. You must be Republican. I'm like,
let's not politics.
Yeah, no. Well, we do have to. Okay, so part of what I want the podcast to be is just talking about uncomfortable stuff.
Okay. And
I just think the reason that religion and politics is always like you hear like the saying like never bring it up at a family party.
Yeah.
Because we keep on saying not to talk about it, it becomes more uncomfortable, and then we don't know how to talk about it, and then it becomes what's happening now, where we have these culture and
separation. We've got a split between cultures.
Yeah, because nobody can sit down and discuss these things anymore, but we're all way closer than we think.
Yeah.
Like, I have a lot of friends that are super liberal, and I have a lot of friends that are super conservative, and I love them all.
Let them, right?
I know. Well,
that's how I feel about it.
It's just like certain things that they pick. Mm-hmm. You know, if you're a Democrat, you got to believe these things. If you're a Republican, you got to believe things. That's not how it is.
I don't like when people tell me what I want, what I have to believe.
Right.
Like, I can't stand the fact that, you know, like, you're labeled so quickly if you believe one thing that a whole group believes.
I know.
Right? So
it's sad.
I try to like not put my opinion out into the world, but like I'll have a conversation about it with somebody, and like if you want to fight me on something, I'll let you win. You know what I mean? I'll be like, okay.
Really?
If you think that, that's fine.
But don't you?
I have my own opinion.
Don't you want to discuss it?
Validated outside.
Don't you want to discuss it with that person?
Well, yeah. Eventually, it gets to the if you want to believe it, that's fine. You know, because it always ends up every discussion I've ever had about, you know, abortion or anything.
Ooh, we're talking about it all today. Yeah, we're doing it all today.
Anything you want to talk about, right? Like, a lot of times when you have those conversations, they're so stuck in that viewpoint and won't allow me to have my own opinion on it, right? So like they're trying to change my mind. When, sure, maybe you will with giving me valid points, but that doesn't mean that I have to change my mind. No. Just because you have that viewpoint, you think you're 100% right.
So I do notice some people talk like that when they're talking about those things. They have a tendency to shove it, like want to shove it down your throat instead of having a discussion about it. Like I want to have, again, this is why I have the podcast. I want to have conversations about these things. Like abortion, great one. Let's start.
Okay, go.
Like, what's your view on abortion?
I think it's a choice. I think that
it's the woman's choice.
It's a choice. So I'm a little bit on the fence because it's very situational.
Yes.
Right. So if you've got, all right, I'll give an example. You were molested or raped by an uncle, right? You have a family, you know, like, that doesn't believe in abortion. You have to freaking have your uncle's baby. You know what I mean? Like, and then be scarred for life because, number one, you were raped. You're not working on the fact that you've been raped, and you can't work on your mental health because now you have to take care of a child because they're most important.
That reminds you of that rape.
Also that. Yeah. So, like, even if it didn't remind you of the rape, right, you have to put that child first no matter what.
Right.
Right? So, like, I don't know, I'm from experience, when I had my daughter, my mental health had to go in the back seat, especially the first 3 years of her life.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, because that's all you're doing is changing diapers, figuring out what the frick is wrong with them when they're crying, you know, not sleeping, all that shit. So, like, then you're living with that trauma for longer because you have this man's baby, right?
Right.
So I do believe in having a choice. So I do believe in pro-choice.
Yep.
But I would rather babies not die. You know what I mean?
A very good way to articulate it. Yes. That's exactly how I feel. You want to know my take?
Yeah, please.
It's not the government's job to tell people what to do.
Yes.
That's all I care about.
Thank you.
That's all I care about. I don't care. You make some very valid points, and I couldn't agree with you more, and I think a lot of people feel that way.
Yeah.
Do I want babies to die? No. But do I think a woman should have a choice? Yes. I personally think it should be up to that woman's family, community, best friend, her own self. She's got the final say, but like let her community, her people, her situation dictate what happens. That's her freedom. Like you said, if it's like a weird uncle that did it, like that's her situation.
Yeah, or complications for the birth. Or,
right. You know, that's her situation.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just don't even understand how it got into the federal government's who are they to decide any of this one way or the other? I'm not saying I support either. It shouldn't be in the government's hands. No. Their job is to make sure my streets are plowed, my military is protecting the borders.
Yeah.
That's it.
I agree.
That's it. Why are you getting involved in it? Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It just doesn't. So that's my view. I know we are. I think a lot of us are on the same page.
I hope so.
But, we live in this shitty situation, which we have to talk and fix it. Mm-hmm. Because, I had the exact same view on it. Like, things happen, you can't tell one person yes and another no. So, like, okay, at that point, you just bow out.
Right.
You just bow out.
Right. Do you think that there's, on a counterpoint, do you think that there's a population issue? Oof. So let me give an example of what I mean.
That's a vague question.
Right. So the government has to pay for kids that are on welfare. Yes. Right? We've got a government that helps subsidize housing, funds, food, everything for parents that don't make enough money to support these children. So if we're getting rid of abortion, we're going to have more children like that. Mm. Number one. Number two, is it an issue now? I think it might be.
Ooh, that's a complicated answer.
It is
because it's one part of 1,000 problems. Mm-hmm. So to say.
Yeah.
Like, is it a problem that our government's supporting kids that don't have families? No.
It's not.
But it is a financial burden, and it's a part of a fucked up system where there's 1,000 things wrong, and money's the problem. Mm-hmm. So do I think populations are going to be a problem, or is a problem? No.
If abortion is outlawed, it's not in our state, obviously, right? We're safe here for however long, right? Because we're a democratic state. But if in our state, just in our state, abortion is outlawed and we're not allowed to, nobody's allowed to have an abortion anymore.
Yeah. Who's taking care of them kids?
Who's taking care of them?
That's assuming the parents don't want them.
But
they didn't want them to because they would have.
Centers that are already overrun.
Right.
Right. We've got not enough parents to adopt them.
Yeah.
Right. And then you've got like a whole system that the welfare system itself, which I was a part of at one point, right? Number one, it's hard as hell to get into, but then once you're into it, you can never leave, right?
Why would you?
Feels like you can't leave it.
Really?
Yeah, right. Or
how so? No,
because as soon as I get to a point, like even so, because I was making little to no money when I got clean, right? I was getting food stamps, some subsidized money for the month, right? I had to be in a program that I was either in school or volunteering somewhere, whatever. Mm-hmm. My daughter's daycare was paid for. Everything is paid for. Medicare, everything. So no medical expenses.
Right.
Every single doctor's appointment was free to me, right? Fantastic.
Yeah.
So now I
see where you're going with this.
I get to a point where I'm working, okay? Mm-hmm. But I'm not experienced enough to make enough money
to really support
myself. But the cutoff is very low for welfare.
I see.
So I stopped getting assistance before I can actually support myself.
Oof.
It was rough.
That's hard.
Yeah, they still. I think I got food stamps, and I only got $40 a month at one point. Though.
Yeah.
$40 a month. I'm like, I might as well eat out of the garbage.
Especially now with inflation.
Yes.
My wife just said she went to Moe's for her and my mom. It's $40-something bucks. Mm-hmm. That's just two people at Moe's.
Mm-hmm. Welcome to Moe's.
Oh, I mean,
spend your whole
she
paycheck.
told me that. I was like, what?
I know.
I remember going out to dinner for $40. Mm-hmm.
Sit down place, tip, and everything. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I guess to counter your counter, what's the solution then?
I don't know what the solution is.
Yeah,
I feel like
I'm a solutions guy, right?
I feel like
I just can't leave a problem alone. I gotta.
Yeah.
I'm not a complainer. I'm not a natural complainer because I hate complaining. Because if there's something you're complaining about, there's probably something you can do to fix what you're complaining about. Sure. And if you can't or don't, why are you complaining? There's no point in complaining if you can't fix the problem.
Well, what if the problem is controlled by something you can't fix?
Tell me what you can't fix in your life.
The government.
You could run away.
Run away to where?
I don't know, Alaska. Live in a tent. Yeah, I live in the country.
Alaska's not
the government. I guess.
The government. The entire
No.
government.
Okay, no. Now that I've had a second to think about it, you can get involved. You can become part of the change. I'm complaining. Sure. I think that the government and the world's messed up. Yeah. And I think we are getting divided because we don't discuss religion, politics, abortion, this, that, and the other. So yes, you know what? No, I correct myself. I still stand strong. You can always do something. Okay. It might not be a huge change. Sure.
Small changes make a big change.
Thank you. Correct. If a lot of people listen and talk and start podcasts and volunteer and run for office that they really don't want to, but they know they can make a change and be the change even though it's hard, we will make it. Yeah. So I still stand strong. Okay. I don't like complaining because I feel like there's always something you could do.
Checkmate. Love it.
I'm trying. I'm trying to change it.
Really good.
So yeah, no, I get what you're saying. It's tough. I never thought about it like that because again, I live a very naive life. Sure. I just, when I wanted money, I just went out and made it.
Yeah.
That was it. That's all I ever really thought about my whole life.
Yeah.
Well, adult life. You know, when I was a kid, it was girls. It's just nothing but girls. And then I hit at 17, 18. I still thought about girls. And then 23, 24, met my wife, 25, kids. Good. And then ever since that point of finding my wife and having kids, never need to think about it again. Just
right. You've already accomplished that.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's our biological programming, right? It's like you got to find a mate or mates. You know, it's like you have to. You know what I mean? And once that was like, then I'm like, oh my gosh, like all I have to focus on is making money. If I wanted something, it was make more money. If I wanted this, make more money. Sure. So then it kind of just led me down this path of where I ended up today.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's good. It's a good path, though.
Yeah, it's a goody two shoes path. Sometimes I wish I was more of a badass. I wish I had a better backstory.
You got time.
I know.
You do. You have time, and that's what I think about that all the time, right? Like. I regretted, well, no, I can't say I regret anything, but when I had my daughter, or after I got clean and I had my daughter and it was just me and not really just me. I can't say that I was single for very long, for any period of time until now, right? So this is the longest I've been single in a very long time. My ex, we were together 7-ish years. And he acted as dad to her a little bit, and then we finally moved in with him and he wasn't really around because he did stuff, I think you do contracting. Yeah. That's what he does also.
Yeah,
that's his business.
It's a lot of hours. Yeah.
It's a lot of hours. So, and we didn't really work out because he didn't know how to be her parent and he thought I was doing it wrong. Oof. So it was rough. It was really rough.
That's a rough thing to tell
so I got the fuck out of there. I was like, I gotta go. If you can't change how you're reacting and screaming and yelling and being a dick, right? He was not nice to her a lot of days, and he admits it today. There's no hiding it. He understands his part. I understood my part, right? Yeah. And it just didn't work out, and that's fine.
Yeah,
we were 20 years apart though, so that difference was huge too.
Yes,
right. So
that's
glad,
a factor. It's a factor.
I'm glad that we're still friends. He's still kind of like her dad, and they every Tuesday and Thursday they go to Taekwondo together. Aww. And then Sundays they go on a walk. So they do stuff all the time, and
that's so cool.
Whatever. So yeah,
but it just didn't work out between you guys.
Yeah,
what an adult you are. I mean,
it's fantastic. This is the first relationship that's ever ended like that, right? Yeah. And but it's because I've been clean for so long, and I've learned some things, and I've grown up,
yeah.
And so anyway, so after I had some time clean, I didn't regret my daughter. I
wish you did it differently?
No, what's the word?
It's all right, we got
envy.
time. We got nothing but time.
I know, right? It's not envy. It's not
animosity?
No, it's
explain it. Explain me the word.
It's I had this negative feeling towards my daughter because she's there, basically. That's all it was.
Because she existed?
Because she's a burden of mine,
yeah,
right?
A responsibility.
My responsibility now, but it felt more like a burden, right? So, I can't remember the word, though.
It'll come to you. It'll come to you in the middle of this conversation. Probably. You just say it then. It's fine.
I will. So I have this feeling about my daughter, right? I I love her to death. And
Yeah.
I always will and I always have.
Yeah.
But I would have rather not be a mom.
Oh,
all the time at that point.
2 or 3 out of all my podcasts, I said that I hate my kids.
Yeah.
I hate them, but I love them more than anything I've ever loved in my whole life. If one of my kids needed a heart to survive, I would die tomorrow.
Yeah.
I love them more than literally. I love my kids. I mean, I'm fucking obsessed with them.
Yeah.
But I hate their guts.
Yeah.
Because they're so damn annoying and so needy.
Yeah.
And I can't go to the store whenever I want. And I can't do this. And me and my wife can't have a conversation.
Yes.
We can't watch a movie. Like, they're an inconvenience to your life.
They are.
A huge one.
Yep.
But I love them so much.
Yep. Well.
So I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, absolutely. I
can only imagine
mine
as a
was
single.
little bit different because I didn't get to live a clean life before her.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So the only thing I know in my recovery and being sane-headed, right, is being a mom. Like it didn't
being responsible for somebody.
Right.
You don't have freedom.
I haven't had it.
Yeah.
Right. When I did have freedom, I was using drugs and doing bad things. You know. Yeah. So now I have a good head on my shoulders.
Yeah.
Some sense in my brain.
Yeah.
Right. And I want to do things.
Your time's coming. Like you said, you got a 5-year plan. She's about to be 18.
That's where I was going.
And you're going to be this hippie that lives in the woods in a tent with a bunch of animals around you.
The most sober hippie in the world. Too.
Yeah.
It's going to be fantastic.
So you won't do psychedelics or anything like that? You have no interest in that?
No, I know I can't. Because I won't stop. It's a disease. And it doesn't go away.
So I wanted, because I know you said you wanted to come on here and talk about your journey and your addiction and stuff like that. I heard or watched a video the other day of two guys talking, and they were saying, you know how you get that sensation, that urge when you're hungry, how it just kind of comes out of nowhere, and you're like, I'm really hungry right now, and then you can't stop thinking about it until you get something to eat, and he goes, that's addiction, and I was like, whoa,
sure,
I used to be one of those people that when they say addiction's a disease, I would see those billboards and hear that, and I'm like, oh my God, it's not a disease. These people just need to make better choices.
Right.
What are you doing? Right. And I'm like, and then when I heard about it like that, I never have a conscious thought to I should eat right now because I haven't eaten in a while. No, I just wait until I'm hungry, and that's addiction's you do drugs, and then I'm assuming you do drugs, and then when you don't do a drug, it's then you just get this. I need to do a drug. It's I need that rush. I need that whatever. I need to and then it doesn't stop until you get the next fix.
Yeah,
the craving.
So if you
how do you explain?
So it's like you really want something sweet today,
right? How do you explain a food craving?
Ice cream.
Craving.
It's just a drug. You know what it's doing in your brain?
What?
It's firing off endorphins
when
you're eating it.
Yes,
that's exactly what drugs are doing too.
Right.
Except it's way more than just food is going to do to your brain, right? So whatever the drug is, right? Whether it's a psychedelic or an opiate or marijuana or whatever, right?
Yeah.
It could be, it's still doing something in your brain where it's chemically changing you. Chemically changing you. So when you stop doing it, your brain is I need that because I'm not producing that anymore. So
I'm gonna argue with you again and say that I do think food is like that for some people.
Okay, yeah.
I do think sugar is just a drug we get out of food. I guess it's more... Yeah. I guess I understand what you're saying, that maybe the impulse of, I got to do drugs again is maybe a little stronger. But think about this. It's just not culturally acceptable. Of course, it's culturally acceptable to eat. Yeah. But you have to eat to survive. Right. So nobody looks down on it or thinks that it's not a big deal.
Until you're obese and
correct.
Unhealthy.
But that urge to eat it just made me be able to empathize with somebody who's nagged it that much more. Because like I said, honestly, I was the person that was addiction, a disease, come on.
Sure, yeah.
But I was such a naive point of view.
Yeah.
And then when I understood, when I put it into that perspective of oh my gosh, when I get hungry, that's all I can think about.
Yeah.
And it comes out of nowhere. And all I want to do is eat. I get that craving until I eat that thing.
Yeah.
And I'm what if that's drugs?
It's a really good analogy, right? To try to describe that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But on top of the craving.
Yeah.
And what I'm saying is like it's
chemically
actual
changing
your chemical imbalance, your balance.
That's scary.
So when you stop, you have to fight that urge so hard, right? That because your body's telling you basically like, I'm not making that dopamine anymore because you were giving it to me for so long.
Right.
You know, so like you no longer are making dopamine until your body finally catches up, and it's like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to make that.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
And then it finally starts doing it, but slowly. It doesn't happen overnight.
Right.
It took me years to feel better. Right. So at the beginning of my recovery, they handed me Suboxone.
Yeah.
Fucking the worst idea in my whole entire life. Right? I didn't know. It was pretty new still. I was in rehab in the 30-day program. They were like, you have cravings? I had already gone through the withdrawals of opiates. That was my issue, right? Like, that was my go-to was opiates.
Yeah, I can see that.
Never got to, like, shooting up anything, thank God.
Yeah.
Like, it could have gotten so much worse. But I ended up, like, going through the withdrawals. My cousin, my godsend of a cousin, came and, like, took care of my daughter for me.
Oh, wow.
She was 1, right? Like, somebody had to take care of her. Took care of her for me, like, fucking took care of me, you know, whatever. And I went through, like, a week's worth of withdrawals. Done with the withdrawals. Then I went and started drinking a lot and, like, going out and, like, did not come home till 6, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning because I didn't know how to live without a substance.
You needed to cope.
I needed something, right? Like, I couldn't not do it. So I, like, called old friends from high school and I was like, let's go out. You know what I mean? I'm back, you know, whatever. And I knew it was the type of people that would enable me and, like, let me do stupid things and whatever. So I ended up doing all that. And then I was living at my parents' house at the time with my daughter because I moved out from my daughter's dad's house, or our apartment, really.
Yeah.
So I fucking left him and moved in with my parents. And then when I started drinking like that, my parents were like, "You're going to rehab like tomorrow, or you're leaving your daughter with us, and we're gonna take her." And I'm like, "No, like I couldn't have it. Like that's my daughter. Like it's my responsibility. The guilt would be too much. I knew that. I went to rehab.
That's amazing though that you had that sense of like, because I'm just assuming. I'm so naive.
Go ahead.
That like I feel like a lot of women who are in that position, even when they have kids, I mean that's like half the welfare system. Like they just okay, like they want to be with their kid, but then they just succumb to the drugs and they like leave their kid behind.
Yeah, which is super sad. And I wasn't.
No, but I'm just saying props to you because like that's a good thing. You know what I mean? That she was able to be your thing, I feel like.
Yeah, she was my thing for a real long time, right? Like she was the reason that I got clean. Yeah. Basically. Like I could have, if I didn't have her, I don't know if I would have gotten clean when I did. You know, so
kids do that to you.
Fuck yeah.
It changed my life. Thank goodness,
you know.
It made me who I am,
they're a blessing, right? They're a purpose too, right? So
yeah,
I ended up. They are.
Yeah,
it changed you. There was a purpose to them being here, right?
Yeah.
So that's a purpose. That's what I'm talking. Those little micro purposes in your life. That's one of them. Yes. And that was one for me. You know.
Oh yeah, I guess the drive to mate, the drive to procreate is a purpose.
It
is an innate purpose of ours.
It is.
Is to procreate. I guess I just never looked at it like that before. You know. Yeah, it's good.
Okay.
This is why I do this.
Yes.
Continue on. Sorry. I like to have realizations.
Me too.
I crave these conversations because I love learning new perspectives. Mm-hmm. And every time I talk to somebody, it's like, huh. I love that moment. Mm-hmm. Huh. Yeah. And like I think I'm like, oh.
It feels like you're jumping into a new space.
Yeah, it really does. The world your view gets bigger and bigger and bigger.
Absolutely. Like I think it was one time I heard someone say something and I was like, wow, that's no way. And like you literally feel like you're looking at something different now.
Yes.
Like physically looking at something different after you learn something. Like it's so cool.
Yes.
So cool.
100% yes.
Okay.
So continue. Yeah, you were
where was I?
Left your ex, moved into home, your parents were like, stop drinking or else you're kicked out.
Yeah, they made me go to rehab and then I got on Suboxone at the rehab, right? So they fucking gave it to me and I didn't know what it was.
What is it?
It's a longer lasting opiate basically.
What?
It's a lower dose. That's basically all it is. So it's buprenorphine or something. That's the drug name, I guess. And then it's basically a synthetic opiate that they've made, right, to help opiate addicts cope without the opiate, right? So I had already been off of the opiate.
You didn't need it.
I didn't fucking need it. Guess who was on it for 2 years? Me. On a real low dose, but I couldn't stop because I got sick every time I tried.
Oh.
And it lasted so much longer. So when I was like, I'm strong enough to do this. I had 3 years clean under my belt, right? I was like, I'm going to stop, right? I had to quit my job, which is a whole nother story. I went for human services, social service type work, and was working in that field as an intern. And then once I got done with my fucking withdrawals, I went into technology, and I totally changed it up.
Well,
weird.
Think about it. When you're done withdrawing, your chemical balance inside your brain that makes decisions and thoughts and processes had changed.
Right.
So you probably weren't as interested in that anymore. And then when your chemicals change, you're like, I want to do tech.
The problem is that I wasn't going to make enough money to support myself and my daughter and that kind of job. So
social.
Yeah.
So you know what's sad? I feel like that's some of the most wholesome jobs. Like,
fuck yeah.
I worked at St. Mary's School for the Deaf for a long time, only making like $30,000 a year. And I'm taking care of kids, and
making
I was a
the
teacher's
most
aide.
impact on a person,
society, on people, and they get paid the least.
Trash.
Yeah, our financial structure is definitely weighted at the wrong ends.
I felt so bad leaving it because I had clients and everything, but number one, I had to go through these withdrawals, which, by the way, took me 6 months to get off Suboxone, to feel okay. You know what I did every day? I went and got a coffee and fucking drove around the neighborhoods for hours because I didn't know how to sit still. Like, my body just hurt for 6 months. I couldn't work. I couldn't do shit. So I'd take my daughter to daycare every day, go get my coffee, and then drive around and find new streets to turn down. That's all I did. Listen to music.
Come on. For 6 months?
Just about, yeah.
Wow.
Yep. And then I finally found the light at the end of the tunnel at that, and there was this realization, right? I was like, holy fuck, I'm there. It's here. I didn't feel great at the time when I started feeling that, but there was this realization that I was getting to the end of this, so I was like, fuck, I'm just going to keep going, and it was that long though that it took me to feel okay. And that it was that chemical imbalance that whole time making me feel like that.
That's crazy.
And because the rehab wanted to give me this drug to make me not crave an opiate, right? I will never recommend it, but it did get me to a point that I wasn't living a life of a drug addict anymore. So there is the pros and cons of it, but I still would never recommend it as a permanent thing.
See, and it almost sounds like it makes it too easy.
Yes.
To not be an addict.
Correct.
It's
But then you're still an addict.
Right.
You're not free.
Right. It just chemically kept you off of it, and it was but did it really teach you to not be an addict? You were just
the actions
treating
of
it.
Yeah, going to meetings and seeing a counselor and learning the things that they're teaching you. Yeah,
because you weren't always high, you were able to focus on better coping mechanisms and things that you could do instead of doing drugs.
Yep.
And then getting off the Suboxone was hard.
It was so hard.
It's still a drug.
Yes. Yep. So there are again pros and cons to it, but I would still never recommend it because it takes so long. At least for me. I don't know for everybody else's experience. For me, it took 6 months, and it was grueling, right? And I will never touch another drug because of that.
But see,
that's going to make me addicted to it.
I'm a glass half full guy.
Okay.
All I can ever do is look at the positive side of things. I don't know why. It's kind of annoying. You developed a strength. Not many people can endure something for 6 months. This is what I was saying, that people who have bad childhoods and bad teenage years seem to be the coolest, most awesome people. Because to go through such shit for so long and then to do something like come off of Suboxone, and it took 6 months to get off that. So many people probably would have folded in that 6 months.
Yeah.
So just, I'm a glass half full. It made you a super person.
Oh, I'm not saying I'm not either, right? Like, I am a glass half full now.
Yeah.
Right? It took me a while to, like, feel that and, like, get to that point where, like, now I look at it and I was like, fuck, I am so strong.
Yes, you are.
I mean? Like, I am really cool.
I know.
And, like, I tell my daughter all the time about my story and, like, she knows everything about, like, my past. And
that's good.
where she came from
that's
and
good.
everything. And she says, she'll, like, we'll meet people randomly, right? And she'd be like, my mom's clean 12 years.
Aww.
Like, I'm like, you didn't have to tell people that. Like, it's not.
But she's proud of it.
She's so proud of it. And I love her for it. But she doesn't have to tell everybody. It's okay.
Yeah, I know. They're kids.
Right.
My kids say that. I mean, every time I don't want my kid to say, she says it. You know, don't say this. Don't. And then the first thing they say when, like, you're talking bad about people, and then they come over, like, hey, how you doing? They're like,
my dad said.
Yeah, my dad said you're a loser. I'm like, kid, not in front of him, not in front of him. But he doesn't get it, and he's being a kid,
naive to it.
He loves to mirror all of them. All my boys just love to mirror everything I do. It's kind of annoying.
I'm sure it is.
No, I love it. It's the cutest thing, but it's kind of
those are memories, though.
Yeah,
that we'll have forever, right?
Yeah. No, it's good. It's
fantastic.
I was talking about this the other day. Is that I try to have as adult like conversations with my two older boys because I think it's making them more. I want my kids to be kids, and
absolutely. To
preface this, I should say my 4 kids. You know Peter Pan, Neverland, the Lost Boys. Mm-hmm. That's my kids. They're like woo, 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 like jumping all over shit. They have an endless amount of energy. All 4 of them.
They probably feed off of each other too.
100%. Yeah. And me and my wife are like not high strung, but very active people. So they got that energy. Mm-hmm. We have a big, like a 25 by 30 living room. It's huge. It's as big as like most people's houses. So I have couches that don't even touch the wall because it's such a big room. Yeah. And they run in circles around the damn couch and then on the couch and then down again. Yeah. All while wrestling and tackling each other.
The room.
It just had so much freaking energy. They're just, I forget where I was going with this, but they're the Lost Boys. Like, they're just savages.
Well, you were saying that you try to have adult conversations with them.
Oh, yeah. So I want my kids to, I do want that. I love that they're like that. Yeah. I want them to be kids. I want them to go out in my backyard and get lost in the swamp or the woods and, like, not lost, but, like, lost in, like, their sense. Like, they could just be having their own adventure. I want them to be kids. Yeah. Because once it's gone, it's gone. It is gone. Just like you said, like, you fucked it up. And then it's like, I can never go back to those days.
Can't go back.
A positive outlook is like, going forward, it'll all be good.
Yep.
So I want my kids to have childhood. Yes. But at the same time, I try to, every once in a while, when we're talking adult type stuff, me and my wife, I try to include my boys. And even if it's,
you should.
Is it saying, some serious creepy shit? Not creepy, but like, and I want them to hear it. Because I think it's giving them a sense of maturity and understanding. The earlier you can kind of get them involved, then they start making their own decisions and their logics, their thought processing gets better,
No, I agree.
So, I try to do that while keeping them kids. And it's a very...
Yeah. How do you keep them kids with the internet, though? You know what I mean? How's their internet consumption?
I gave them tablets. See, I think I inadvertently did something right.
Okay, good.
I gave them tablets very early.
Okay.
But like real iPads.
Okay.
With no covers and no screen protectors. So they broke them after like a week. And my thing is,
you're like, if you I got it, you're done with
thank you.
Yep.
After like a week.
So I feel bad.
After like a week, I got it. I got it fixed again, and then they broke them. I go, that's it. We're done.
Fucking fixing it.
Right. So I'm like, we're done. And they're just like, nah. And like for maybe a couple days, I heard about like, iPad. Yeah. But then they just started playing because they didn't have the option.
They'll figure it out. Yeah.
They just figured it out.
They figure it out.
And then they became. I've seen my kids because we have our phones and YouTube. I've seen them go, and then like,
put it down. And go
hey, who wants to go outside? And like they go out. I'm like,
oh,
yes,
that's a dream.
Yes. Well, you have to give them the conditions to be able to do so.
Yeah.
I don't limit them on their YouTube time, and I watch, but because I want them to get sick of it.
Yes.
Because if you keep
making them your own choices.
Yes. When I was a kid, my dad was like 1 hour video games. And all that made me want to do was play more video games. Yes. Because I'm like, I only got an hour. And then you're trying to sneak it. And like, if I would have just got my fill, I probably would have been like, oh, this is kind of boring. Yeah. And gone outside.
Yeah. Well, you were the type of kid that liked to be outside too. You know what I mean? So like, and you still do. Obviously, right? You got a freaking farm now.
Yeah.
So, God. My daughter. So I don't know if you ever knew my brother.
No, I don't think it is. Older or younger?
Did you even know that I had a brother?
No, older. No. I was gonna say older.
He's older. He's 3 years older than I am.
No, I don't think I did.
Of course you didn't, because he was a hermit crab.
Wow.
He never went outside.
Was he? Would he been? We were senior when we were freshmen.
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I was in school with him 1 year.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I never knew.
Yeah, he was a video game kid.
Really?
Right? You know what? He never had a skill.
Wow. Well, right? Okay, but that's not a bad thing, anyways.
No, it's not.
That's some people's life.
But what I'm saying is that's my daughter.
Really?
She's the opposite from me.
Really?
The exact opposite. She is my brother. I always say that, right? Like, her and my brother have so many things in common. My grades were okay. Hers, she's got a 98 again.
Wow.
Average. She's going into 9th grade next year. And she's got a freaking 98. Yeah, I know. I know. You still feel old, don't you? Me too. So anyway, so she's going into 9th grade. She's got a 98 average. She had a what was it, a 97 or 96 or something. It was so like she's in the high 90s every semester, right? And like she's brilliant. But she loves video games.
Yeah.
She loves anime. She's
a nerd.
She's like, she likes the furry stuff.
Yeah.
Too. Like I bought her a head and everything. She's a nerd, and I love her.
That's so cool.
But you know what? She's not like me at all. No. Where like I was the sports kid. Yeah. My dad always brought me to all my games. He coached for me. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like I was always outside playing. Like find me at the park all the time. Find me in the freaking woods near my house.
Oh, I know. That was me. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, like, we're a complete opposite people. I didn't like her for it for a long time. I just recently even, just started to, like, appreciate her for who she is.
Yeah.
I wanted so badly to have a kid that played softball, volleyball, something,
yeah.
right? So I could be that mom again. I put her in flag football when she was real little. Yeah. You know what I mean? She fucking hated it.
Yeah.
She hates listening to other people and, like, following directions. So she's going to be super strong-willed and probably a politician at some point.
Good for her. Right? Like I said.
Or a lawyer or something.
I was like you, and if I used to think that if you didn't like the things I liked, there was something wrong with you. But, like, being a nerd, being a video game person, I mean, that's just their lifestyle. That's what they enjoy. So, yeah, she can binge and binge. Like, okay. You know, I used to, and I think that's also like an old-timey culture thing. Like, oh, you can't play video games all the time. Go outside.
Because rot your brain.
Yeah, and everybody, but that's just because they didn't have video games a generation before us. So, like, everybody was outside because there was nothing else to do. Right. It's nothing wrong with it. That's just how people are nowadays. But yeah, no, good for her.
I know. She's so fun. And she's artistic. So
man. Well, she sounds awesome.
She's pretty awesome. Yeah. She's pretty awesome. Yeah, I did good.
See?
Yeah.
See?
So, again, like, in the beginning of recovery, though, like, I tried my best.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, she has, right now, like, she has some problems. Like, she has a hard time talking to people. She is bullied all the time, right?
Oh,
like, the things that she doesn't have much of a filter either. So, like, if somebody says something to her, she's like, you suck and this and that, and like she'll just like
talk back,
just like spit out whatever comes to her brain, you know, instead of like having a little bit of a filter and having a little modesty and like just telling a teacher, you know. But she's like gonna argue back with the kids that are calling her names, whatever. So like she's just encouraging the bullying more. It's very sad, and we go to this counseling thing every week. So the school around here, I will give them props. So JFK School, they are phenomenal with their kids when we need them, right?
Oh, wow.
Like, we go to this free family solutions counseling.
Yeah.
Free. It is the best counseling we've ever had.
Oh, wow.
Right? Like, her and I get to sit and talk and solution things together. And,
that's so cool.
Have a closer relationship for it and everything.
That's so good for you.
And then I used to take her to, like, an actual therapist, and it did nothing. Now we're going to this thing where we get to all talk as a group and like solution things together, and we've never been better. So
in one of my previous conversations, I was saying that I don't like therapists because I feel like that there's like that stigma, and because they're not allowed or they've been taught not to engage with the subject. it's just one person talking
Yep.
and like one person so there's like almost a power structure to it.
There is.
And that's probably why it sucks so much and there is a stigma.
Power.
And when you're in that group, because it's more personable and you're all talking, you're talking to each other, it probably works so much better.
So much better.
This is my therapy.
So much, yeah. Yeah.
This is my therapy.
Absolutely.
But this is how it should be. And did you ever see on Netflix the documentary Stutz?
No, I have not.
It's with Jonah Hill and his therapist.
I started watching that.
A lot of people said this that they
I did start it.
Yeah, it's hard to.
It's when like he switched like to
like a movie type thing.
Yeah, and it was like that's when I stopped watching it.
Was a little weird.
It was weird, and it was a little jarring. So but the beginning when he like sat across from his therapist and just went through the things that they talked about, I was like, cool.
Yeah, a lot of good points. That therapist, he's but what makes it different is he brings his life into the therapy. Like he's not like, I'm a therapist, tell me about your day.
Yeah.
He was like, they were close. He said, I love you. Like that's not typical for a therapist-client relationship. No. But that's probably why Jonah was able to open up so much. And that's what I really liked. And then I'm like, podcast? I'm like, sweet. I can get it for free.
Awesome. Yeah.
So no, that's cool. I'm really happy to hear that you guys are enjoying it.
We are, but unfortunately, we're not going to have it during the summer because school ends, right?
Yeah, but you can still do your own therapy.
Well, me and her will just continue the things that we solution.
Yeah.
And have those conversations. We're always very open with each other, which is really nice. That kid tells me everything, whether I want to or not. Some things she could keep to herself. I didn't need to know about that bodily function. Because she's 13 now. Just take care of it. You're fine.
Oh, God. I don't want to know. I'm a dude. I don't want to know.
Just wait.
Nope.
You've got a girl, right?
Yeah.
Just one?
Yep. Yeah, at the end, yeah.
You won't have to deal with it, though.
I won't have to deal with it. Nope. I am staying out of that. Like she does, again, traditional conservative.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah. I can handle the boys, and when that weird conversation comes, I'll have that with them. That I'm not looking forward to that one.
Yeah. No, it's not gonna be fun.
But
it might be okay.
I'm getting really good at uncomfortable stuff.
Good.
I've been, again, for being a person, I don't know what's saying it like this. It's cringy, but I have to explain it. I hate making things that sound like I'm patting myself on the back.
Why?
Because who?
Me. I do it.
Likes the person that pats yourself on the back.
I don't care. I like you.
Okay, thank you.
I like to pat myself on the back too. You should.
I've never had any serious trauma in my life. Never had any real hardships.
Okay.
But I enjoy chasing uncomfortable things to make me a better person.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing. It just sounds...
It doesn't sound like it. I think it sounds like you're just trying to improve yourself, right?
Yeah.
And it's a form of self-help for you.
I've had people, or I've heard of people who make you feel bad for it because I'm always trying to be my best.
Such a thing?
Yeah, why are you doing that? Why? And it starts to get to you sometimes because
you're not trying to put trauma in your life. You're just trying to
get better,
confront things.
Yeah, just get better. I just want to be the best me all the time.
Right.
Physically, mentally, emotionally, all of it. Why not? Yeah. Why not?
Yeah. I
just don't get it. And then, there's situations and people that have made me feel uncomfortable for chasing that. And I think that's where because it sounds like you're, again, it's a very fine line between being confident and bragging.
Sure.
I'm a very confident person.
Good.
Very confident.
Yeah.
But I could see how it could be misconstrued as bragging. Boastful.
Bragging, I think, is more you're saying it to put someone else down. Or to compare yourself in a way that makes someone else feel like they're less than.
Okay, so here I'm going to tell you the problem. I'm going to tell you the problem. From my perspective, I'm never trying to put somebody else down, but I can't control the other person in the situation. So they're going to take it as I'm trying to put them down, even though I'm not trying to make them feel like that. Do you see that?
Why do you care?
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that. Yes, you did.
Yeah.
No. And I'll tell you what. Ever since I stopped caring, those people in my life, we've not been super close. Okay. And honestly, I never think about it because I stopped caring. I had that exact thought. I don't mean it to make it seem like I'm better than somebody else. I don't say it to mean it like they're worse than me or I'm putting them down. Right. I'm saying it because I'm happy.
I
want to share it. Yeah, I want to share it. What it is, I'm trying to share, hey, this is how I got to this. Mm-hmm. you should try it. And it's like, I'm not saying you should try it because you're a bad person, or you should try it because you suck, or I'm better than you because I did it. Yeah. But like, unless I share it with you, you'll never know.
Right.
So I just like to share a lot.
That's why I like to share my story all the time.
Yes.
Right? It's
well, you get it because you've reached that point.
Sure.
And me and Sean say this, like, that's a moment of enlightenment. Mm-hmm. When you get to this certain point in life.
Immaturity in the other way of thinking.
Emotional immaturity. Yes. Yeah. Right. So once I really stopped caring about what people thought, because it's like, it affects me. It only affects me if I let it affect me. Right. So if I'm not caring about it, it doesn't affect me, and I feel even happier. Yeah. So I've been just really happy lately.
That's so fantastic.
Yeah, thank you.
I love that.
Thank you. And that's what led to this.
Fuck yeah.
I was like, I want to talk to more people. I want to make other people happy. I want to have other people see and hear great conversations. I want great conversations, and yeah. So, your daughter, your journey, 12 years sober, 13, 12? 12 full years. And it was super hard.
So hard.
What do you do now?
So I'm still on a journey, obviously. Like every fucking year is a journey, a new journey. So now I work a lot. Yes. Which is unfortunate. I would rather not. This is why I have this grandiose idea to like not work and like live in the woods. You know what I mean? So
when you say work a lot, this is one of my favorite subjects. Okay. I'm an expert on work.
And working a lot, I'm sure.
Yes. But for good reason. Like I have thought about all of this a lot. So I have a lot of really good reasoning behind it and a lot of good thoughts about it. Okay. When you say you work a lot, elaborate.
It means a lot of hours.
A lot of, like, more than 40?
More than 40.
50, 60, week. 70, 80?
Depends on the week. A lot of after-hours events. Why I do it is because it's my job now. You know what I mean? I don't necessarily want to do it. That's my problem. So, I got into technology on accident. Okay. Right? I moved up, kept getting promotions, kept moving into new positions to get more money, right? On purpose, because I had a daughter to take care of and I wanted to live on my own, you know? Yep. I finally started getting paid enough in the position that I'm in, and I'm comfortable in life. Like, I'm good at where I'm at, right? Yeah. But it comes with less work-life balance than I want, right? So I work a lot more than I live. You know, like I do after-hours events. Not every week and not all year long.
But it's inconvenient.
But it's very inconvenient. And then my daughter's home alone, all by herself a lot, you know, or I have to find somebody to come sit with her, or she goes to her mom's house. Yeah. She's not a baby anymore, so we don't count babysitting. Listen,
my kids are very young, and I'm probably in trouble for saying this, but we put them in a lot of adult-like situations. Yeah. I live out in the country, so I'm not super worried.
If they can take care of themselves,
yes,
and they're mature enough to do so,
I personally think, this is a hot take, this is my opinion, I think we baby the shit out of kids.
Yes, we do.
Way too much.
We do.
And it's leading to the problems that we're seeing now. We're seeing all this mental health stuff because you need to let kids have uncomfortable moments and become adults.
And figure it out,
yes.
right?
Yeah.
You can't just like fix everything for them all the time.
No, that just makes them think when that situation comes, I'll get help again. Yes. Instead of when the situation comes, well, what did I do last time? Oh, I figured it out.
And it worked. And it got
and now better. I'm going to do it. Exactly. And that gives you confidence and independence. And so like me and my wife.
We're not. We're on the same.
We're the same. Yeah. My wife, when she's with the kids, I'm the snagging and she hates it. And this is not a knock on her. But she set it up to be that way. Because when they ask for anything, right away. Yeah. Yes, right away. Mm-hmm. So then in the kids' mind, when mom's home, if I need something, I'm asking mom. Yeah. When I'm home, and it's just me, they're like, I want a drink. I'm like, you know where the cups are? And they're like, but I can't reach. I'm like, all right, we'll find a way to get up there. And they're like, really?
They're like, yeah.
So they climb up there and I'm watching, like,
of course.
And then they're like, well, I want milk. Yeah. And then I want milk. I'm like, all right. Yeah. And then when I'm home with them, they seem to just color books on their own or go play with toys or they hang out with each other or they go outside instead of, because mom's home, it's like, well, I want milk. I want TV. I want this. And then they just keep needing it. And it just leads to more like, I need a towel. I need a drink. I need to go to the bathroom. It's like more begets more begets more. I'm like, whoa.
more.
It's So I love that I am a bad dad.
No. You're teaching them.
Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes it's selfish. Sometimes I'm just like, listen, kid, I'm tired. I can't do it. I don't want to do it right now.
That's how mine started too. It was very selfish. Yeah. I don't feel like it. Figure it out.
Yeah.
Right? But you realize they need those moments.
Yes, they do. Well, I think that's probably how we were evolved. Yeah. There's definitely a point in caveman's history when a kid was too much. Yeah. And you need not on purpose.
Just go
they didn't tell the kid to get away. They probably smacked it away.
Figure it out.
Because they were cave people. And then the kid was like, shit. I'm hungry. I better go find some eggs. And then they're like, all right. And then they go outside and they adventure and they find some eggs. And then they learn that sense of independence. It came from a selfish desire.
Sure, maybe, yeah.
But it's a needed thing.
I kind of hope so. Yeah. I kind of hope so. But it's not just something that
we're just selfish.
Yeah.
No, I don't think it's that simple. No, I don't think it's that simple. So you're promoted. You're going up to this company.
Yeah.
And you don't like your work life. Can I ask why you can't change your work-life balance?
Because I would feel like, because I'm so close with the team, right?
Yeah.
We all do our part.
Yep.
For the most part. And we're technically short-staffed. So we're all doing the same thing all together.
Yeah.
Right? We're all working more hours than we should.
Man, this is such a complicated. I have so many thoughts, and I'm trying to hold my tongue because I want to let you talk.
Yeah.
But there's so many things I want to say about all the things you're saying, and there are conflicting things. So
but I don't want it to be this way, right? I would rather. So I like my team, and I like the work that I'm doing in general, but the extra hours and the lack of having a life outside of work is really daunting.
Oh yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. So now I'm at a point in my life where I'm having a realization, right? That what the fuck am I doing in a corporate world? I like that I know how to use a microphone and I know how to take video and I know the ins and outs of that stuff. And I make people happy with the work that I do because we put on this successful event that's important to them. You know what I mean? All that stuff is very rewarding in the moment.
Yes.
But none of it freaking matters when I leave that building.
Yep.
Right? I was working until I came here today on a PowerPoint for a team to train them to do some of the things that I'm doing, right? So that I don't have to so I have some help, right? So, but I was doing a PowerPoint that has no bearing on my actual life besides paying me.
Yep.
It's disgusting.
So, oh God, so many things.
All right.
It's tough because I'm a business owner.
Yes. Yeah.
And I totally think that you are enabling the company you're working for to give you more work and expect you to do it because you keep doing it.
Yeah.
They are a company. I have a company. I get it. They will keep letting you do that.
Yes.
To make their ends meet. So they're never going to tell you no. Right? But by you wanting to get the gold star, to get the promotion, you think you have to do that.
Sure.
But that's really not good because it just tells the bosses that you can handle that much work.
Yeah.
And you got to keep doing it.
Yes.
Yes. But at the same time, as a business owner, I look for people that go the extra mile. Right. You want somebody that does that. So I get what you're saying. It's just very difficult. I don't think you should. Things, I know. Right? I know.
It's you wanna for a business, right? Whether it's yours or right now, we're going through a little bit of a financial crisis.
Yeah.
Right. In general, everyone is.
Yeah.
Right. Inflation's up. Everything.
And
interest rates are up. All that shit.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we spend a lot of money on a lot of places. So so we can't hire anybody extra right now. Right? We can't afford another salary.
You say we.
We as in my company.
You say we like it's you and M&T Bank.
Right. But it's not. You're right.
It's just them.
It is them.
And if you say no, I'm leaving. and the work doesn't get done, and then somebody higher up goes, we need to hire somebody because we're losing money there, they will.
Well, because I'll be gone, and I'll have a salary to give somebody,
No, they wouldn't fire you if you... I'm saying you did your job.
Oh, sure.
No, I'm saying... You think you keep saying it as we, and you're doing it because of the team, and we.
Yeah.
But really, it's just, and they're expecting X quota out of you.
They brainwashed me. They did.
That's my point. I'm trying to. So, but I get it as a business owner. Like, it's hard running a business. It's so hard.
Right.
Yeah, I want them to go the extra mile. Like when they do nice things for me, I'm like, oh my god, great, because it's going to help.
It,
yeah, but I'm a small business, so I try to give it back right away. Like you're talking about a bank. Yeah. They don't care about
you. No, not in the long run. They don't.
Enjoy your life.
I'm
trying. I know. That's that's why I said it's a conflicting.
What is? Yeah. So what's the option then? Right? Do I
be content with your income and maintain your work-life balance at all costs and enjoy your life? That would be my knee-jerk answer right there.
So here's the thing. In the position or in the department that I'm in, if I don't complete the work, which there are not enough hours in the day to do the work, so that's why I have to work extra hours. Right. I have to work a couple hours at night. I create digital signage. I do graphic designing. I edit videos. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of things to do, and and I need a lot of time to do a lot of those things.
Right.
Right on top of the day-to-day BAU, so business as usual stuff. Right.
I like it.
So that's the stuff that need to be done to fulfill our team, right, in our positions. So if I don't do it, they put me in a category of needing improvement. Okay? Then they can actually fire me. So if I don't do it, I could get fired.
Yeah, but they're asking you
in a long-term thing.
Yeah, they're asking you to do stuff that can't be done in a normal work week. And they shouldn't be able to put you in this category of needs improvement if the work they're asking you to do doesn't fit in the work week that they give you.
You think that?
No, that's the truth.
Wait, no.
That's
logically, yes.
Yeah, well, this is part of this. Life is so complex, and most of the situations we talk about or hear about in the general everyday conversations, you go to the bar, you have friends, you're sitting there, you're talking. Mm-hmm. You never really get into the nitty-gritty details of things. It's just well, if I don't work enough, I'm going to get fired. And it's oh, that's terrible. And then nothing comes from that conversation. This is the place where we can do real change. It has to be. We as humans need to band together more, because the only way you're going to stop your bosses from being able to fire you is if all of you said, hey, we're only working 40 hours, or what, are you going to fire us all?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right, yeah, they can't lose us all. You're right.
Right. But you don't, as one person, and all of us individuals, we don't get that they need us more than we need them. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But you're so caught up in your day-to-day life of well, I can't risk getting fired. I got to get that promotion. Right. I got to do what I got to do.
Right.
But in all reality, we all need to take a step back right now and be we need to band together and do what's right. Because that's not right. Asking you to do 50 hours of work in a 40-hour work week is just plain not right.
Yeah.
And then when you don't do it, and you have to work extra hours, and you get paid, that doesn't jive. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
How can you ask somebody to do something impossible and then punish them for not being able to do the impossible? You know what I'm saying?
The thing is, it's not impossible. So it's taking away from your own livelihood, right?
No. Could the work that they ask you to do fit into a 40-hour week?
No.
So that is impossible.
Right. That's the impossible
the work they're
right.
asking you to do is outside of what's
Correct.
possible.
Outside of the 40-hour scope, yes.
Your job is 40 hours a week.
Technically, yes. It should be.
You need a work-life balance. There's the reason there's 3 shifts. I look at life as 3 shifts, okay. Right? There's 120 hours in a week. Mm-hmm. That's it.
Mm-hmm. That's all there is.
So I don't think it's a bad balance of 1/3 work, 1/3 life, 1/3 sleep. That's a pretty reasonable thing.
How many hours of work is that?
40. 40. Okay, cool. There's 3 shifts. So 9 to 5 is one shift, 5 to...
I'm never good at math.
No, there's 3 perfect shifts in a day. There's 3 perfect time periods in a day.
Yeah.
So ideally, your awake day, half of it should be for work, should be for life.
Yeah, sure.
So if they're asking you to work 50 hours a week, but saying you have to do it, if they're asking you to do 50 hours of work and you can't fit it into 40, which is your work life, that's all you're required to do.
Yes.
And it goes past that, that's not fair.
Agreed.
And then they try to punish you. They try to punish you for it.
They do.
It's just not. It's not cool.
But there's rewards to it, though, right? Like, that's how they got me doing it, right? Like, I put extra effort into it because I know they're going to pay me more at the end of the year. They're going to give me a $10,000 bonus at the end of the year, which happened this year.
Yeah.
Right? 60% of that went to taxes, but whatever. You know, it's still, like, I get compensated for the time eventually. But my life doesn't, like, feel good.
Okay, so what's more important to you? The money or your life?
Obviously.
Right.
Well, like,
I guess I'm arguing that point.
Yes,
I just don't think it's fair.
It's not fair.
I don't think it's fair that I would never ask my guys, my workers, to do things. Mm-hmm. Hey, you've got 10 hours to do this. And they go, it's a 20-hour task. Yeah. I go, too fucking bad. Right. That's not cool.
That's not okay.
It's not. Mm-hmm. We all are human beings. We all got lives. Mm-hmm. Just because you want to squander yours at your workplace, not you.
No.
I mean, like the bosses.
You could say that about my bosses.
Right,
you know what I mean? Like, I could
that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
Good on you.
Yeah.
But to ask you to do it, who's trying to have a life, and all you want to do is have enough money in a 40-hour work week to pay your bills to have a life.
Yeah.
That's so not cool.
I agree.
And this goes to, like, I'm going to bleed this right into conversation. It's government, right?
Yes.
Government is so awful. And I had this conversation with the other Amanda.
Yeah, I know.
And it's like, we were growing up, we were taught that, like, there's two things that can change government: voting and violence. Yeah. And you're not supposed to do violence, right? That was like what we were taught. And I don't think that's a fair thing to say, because the government doesn't have to listen to us, nor have they ever.
Right. And
voting really doesn't change things, because even if we do vote in one good politician and there's 99 bad ones, is that one politician going to be able to do anything? No. They start to play dirty because they have to be able to compete. So then it's like, well, if voting's not changing it, all you're really leaving us with is violence. And it's not even that I want people to be violent to the government. It's just that the government has to have that fear of violence.
Absolutely. Because the people could take over.
Yes. Well, it is us. We are the government. It's made up of us.
It should be.
So I came up with this thought. If we could all band together and not pay our taxes all at the same time, the government would implode in a week. Easily. Because all the employees that they pay, if they're not getting paid, they're not going to work.
Correct.
And then the government's going to go, oh crap, we're going to lose power because we can't keep all the regular crap going. Yeah. And they're going to have to listen to us. Okay.
But that means there's no police. And there's
there's no perfect answer.
Right.
But I'm just saying, like, how else do you get them to listen? Because this is what goes on in my mind. Yeah. Is like, this is the politicians. Every time they go to get elected, I'm going to lower taxes. I'm going to change this law. I'm going to change this rules. Mm-hmm. None of them have followed through on it. Taxes have gone up every single year, every year of the United States existence.
Yeah. Every year.
When are our dumbasses going to figure out they're not going to reduce them?
Yeah.
They're not going to change them.
I don't know.
So that's my big thing. I told you, I'm a solutions guy. I cannot just complain about government and complain about the world and be like, oh, there's nothing to do. I'm like, no, I'm not that guy. I'm just not that guy.
I got it, yeah.
Something in me is like, there has to be an answer.
Yeah.
There's a solution for everything. There's an answer for everything. Even if the answer is like not caring, that's a solution. Not a great one.
It doesn't yield many results.
No, but I'm happy.
Yeah.
In my reality,
Sure.
I'm happy. Like I said about ignoring negative people, essentially, it made me happier because I'm not living their existence.
Right.
I'm living this one. Right. Like, as soon as you leave, my existence keeps going.
Yes.
Like, I get in my truck and I'm driving home. Like, this is my existence. And if I ignore the fact that there's negative people that I love that, like, have bad thoughts, it's like, if I just ignore it and I just stay happy, ignorance is bliss. In my reality, I'm winning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
So that's why I feel like there's always a solution to everything. And government is like one of those things, because I could go down the rabbit hole about how I understand why we need it, why I understand why they do certain things, but how I hate it and wish we didn't have it.
Same.
Sorry, that was rant.
Well, I agree. Like, there's no good answers.
It's tough.
There really isn't.
It's tough.
I've never heard an argument that like has the perfect solution.
No, well, there is none, or else I feel like we would have done it. Yeah.
Well, you would think.
Well,
unless the power of having something, or like the government fights it so much because they have so much power, right?
Oh, for sure.
Like, the perfect solution could be there, but like could be squandered by that need for power.
For sure.
Yeah.
But
I don't know what that is.
I say this often. There's good and bad people in everything.
Yeah.
Politicians, firefighters, cops, contractors.
For sure.
Your friends.
For sure.
Like, there's just parents. There's just good and bad in everything.
In everyone, too. I feel like there's bad in me, too. There could be. You know what
I
mean?
Well, everybody has the potential.
Sure, yeah. But in every group, there definitely is some sort of that.
And I think that's what happens in our government is like, there definitely are good solutions. There's things we could do, but there's bad people who don't want that to happen because they're benefiting someone. It makes me so sad.
Oh, yeah. Are they going to stop benefiting? You know what I mean?
No.
Like, no, fuck no.
No, they don't want to give up that power.
Absolutely not.
But that doesn't mean we can't try.
That's true.
I'm not a person I'm not a quitter. I'm not somebody who gives up.
Mm-hmm.
I do quit some things. I'm not gonna lie.
I call myself a professional quitter at this point with quitting drugs. I just quit vaping 60 days ago.
Props.
And
you're on a health journey.
Fucking believe what a chokehold it had on me.
Ooh, we're gonna talk. I know we're gonna go back to addictions. I love. Do you have to use the bathroom or anything?
No, I'm good.
Good.
Yeah.
Time's good. You don't have to stop. Because I'll just
keep going.
I'll keep going.
I'll let you know if I have to pee.
Okay. Well, just if you want to stop or whatever, because I can just keep going.
You're good.
No, you're on like a health journey, like I am, and I think we're all just at different points in our lives. Mm-hmm. Like, I just love to hear a person like, "Yeah, I just got rid of vaping." Great.
Shit.
Yeah, man, because like you're just getting better and better and better and better and better.
Oh, every year, and that's what I say. Like, there's always something to improve, and like, if I'm not improving, I'm fucking dying. You know, like, that's all I'm waiting to do. So if I could quit vape, like it's bad. For me, it was bad.
Yeah.
You know, like there was a benefit to, because I was a smoker for so many years, right? That was my solution to quitting smoking, and that's what I did. I started vaping, but I vaped for like fucking 10 years. Wow. You know, so like I quit smoking in early recovery, but like vaped for that much longer. Like,
explain vaping to me, because I don't really know.
It's just another form of inhaling nicotine. You know, it's just nicotine in your lungs. You know, with a couple of components.
So do you think the nicotine's a bad part, or do you think? Because from what I understand, it's more like the chemicals that are with the nicotine.
Sure, flavoring. It's the vegetable glycerin.
That stuff I think is what's really
correct. It coats everything.
So I chew nicotine gum.
Okay.
I've never smoked in my life, ever.
You're supposed to use that shit to quit smoking.
Right. Well, I'm a big health and wellness guy, and I follow all these science people.
Okay.
Nicotine has some really great qualities to it.
Okay.
It's supposed to improve memory function.
Really?
It increases. There's a lot of benefits to nicotine. Yes, it's just like caffeine. Okay, so caffeine's a drug. Caffeine and nicotine are
That's the only thing I haven't quit.
Right. Well,
yes.
Because it's overall a net positive.
Sure.
There is a ton of negatives to drinking coffee or to drinking caffeine.
Yeah.
And especially if you overdo it, which a lot of people like to abuse it. Yeah. But because it's not like a super net negative, it's culturally appropriate. It's okay.
Absolutely.
But it's still the same thing as opioids or nicotine or whatever. It's just that the results of it aren't terrible. You don't ruin your life.
Right.
You know, you just are jittery and you do a lot of work and you stay up.
If you don't get
it. Yeah. But that's still really bad for you.
Yeah.
In excess.
Yeah.
Because then your sleep's bad, which is like a main tenet of life.
Right.
So yeah, I chew nicotine.
Okay.
Occasionally here and there when I have like a meeting, or I like to do it first thing in the morning because it like wakes up my brain.
Sure
and
does.
Yeah, but I'm not Like if I ran out of nicotine gum or, I found out it was bad for me, I would just stop.
You'd go through withdrawals though.
You think so?
Yeah. If you're doing it on a daily basis, where?
Yeah. That's true.
You would go through the withdrawals. They're not horrible. It's a craving.
Yeah.
Right?
That's
it's
hunger.
It's gonna be a thing.
So again,
I promise. A little bit of irritability for me. That's what happened. Like I was really mean to my kid for like a couple of weeks.
Really?
Yeah. You'd ask her, she'd be like, "Mom, you were a bee."
Coming off of the
nicotine. Yeah.
Nicotine.
Right. So like it was.
You become irritable.
So
because your body gets used to having that
as a tool, right? It was also a tool for me. So now, I used to
tool.
So it was a coping kind of tool, right? So I used to have my phone in my hand and my vape in my other hand. You know what I leave everywhere now? This phone. I fucking had two things in my hands all the time.
So used to do this.
So like my phone will be in a conference room all the way around the other side of the building, and I'd be like, I don't know where my phone is. I'm looking everywhere. I thank God I got a watch now. I hit the button and like find my phone.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, you could do that?
Well, I've got the Pixel Watch.
You are a tech nerd now.
I am. I've got the Pixel Watch, and like there's a button on here because it's got its own self-service.
Yeah.
Got a button on here, and it'll ping my phone, and it'll ring. Whether it's on or not, whether it's on silent or vibrate or whatever, it'll ring. So I'll be able to like listen for it and go find it.
Oh my gosh!
I use it all the time now because that was connected to that habit of mine of having those two things in my hands. So like I leave the thing everywhere. I'm like I never even needed this phone because most days and I'm way more active now too for some reason. I used to like relax. Yeah. With the vape and the phone and like the TikToks and the everything, you know what I mean? I used to just scroll through and vape and just sit there and do nothing. Yeah. Now that I quit, I've built things in my house. Like I just went to my brother's work and got a bunch of pallets. I'm gonna build like flower boxes and shit out of them. I finally have a skill saw. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
So excited.
Isn't it weird how that happens?
Yeah.
It's an uncomfortable moment you had to go through quitting something, but it led to good.
So much good. I walk my dog every day now. Like I'm more active. It really was like a total change in my reality.
Your chemical change.
It was.
Your chemical makeup change.
It totally is. Absolutely. I feel better. I have more energy. Like
this is gonna lead to another
happier
rabbit hole I like.
Go. Yes.
Do you think that we are just bags of chemicals or spirits?
Oh shit! I think we're spirits.
Try that out for size.
I think we're spirits.
But let me bring this argument to you, okay?
Sure.
So you think we're spirits?
I do.
I guess there's an argument for that. I'm thinking too fast.
There you go.
if what we consume and do makes certain chemicals happen or induce chemicals into our body that can change our behaviors, thoughts, ideas, are we really our own individual selves, or are we just manipulated by the chemicals flowing through our brain? Yeah.
That's deep. Yeah, that's really deep.
I struggle with that all the time because I go, I am a different person when I work out. I do my cold plunge. I eat right. I am a different human being.
Yeah.
I'm not who I was when I was smoking weed, eating bad food, coming home, watching TV every night.
Yep.
That's two different Stevens.
I agree. Yeah,
But if I'm a spirit, then why is there two different Stevens based off of the chemicals in my body?
Have you ever thought that the chemicals make up the spirit?
But then that
what do you think a spirit is my question. Like if
I
you
don't
were
know.
To say
me, like right now, me.
Like as in your consciousness.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. But do I really have a consciousness if it's so easily manipulated by the chemicals and it can be taken over by the chemicals? I guess even the way I'm saying it, it can be taken over by the chemicals. Still insinuates that there's its own spirit. But it just like it's hard to separate the two. That's like in my mind. It's so hard.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I'm breaking my own brain, but
you are.
But do you see what I'm saying?
I do.
I don't know if we're just these bags of chemicals that are just reacting to stimuli, whether it's our environment, the chemicals, the whatever, and we're just talking and thinking and doing all these things because of neurons firing based off of the chemicals we've got. Or if I'm this spirit inhabiting this body on planet Earth going through it. Because then that seems a lot more individualized. Like I have a sense of self versus if it's just chemicals, then I'm just my environment.
This is true.
You know what I'm saying?
That is true. But the chemicals are within you, right? So
within the body.
Within the body. The physical body on this earth.
But this takes me to religion. Mind, body, spirit.
Yeah. Oh, fucking A.
Boom!
Right.
I struggled with the idea of the fact that the mind and the spirit could be two different things.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Could be.
You got a fighter spirit, but your body wasn't listening to you.
Yeah.
And your mind was just going along with whatever was happening.
Mm-hmm.
But you had a fighting spirit that got you back on track.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Isn't that such a trip? There's like 3 U's.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe there is. You know what I mean?
Like, there is. My body is my body. It's its own thing almost.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's me.
Yeah.
At the same time.
It is. It's so trippy to just think about
right?
What we are.
These are the conversations I love. just and I could be called the cliche guy. I almost wanted to start a YouTube channel called Cliche Guy. Because if you just go back and listen to all the cliches, which is what the Bible is, it's a bunch of like cliches. Save your money, don't overindulge, blah, blah, blah. It's like a guidebook to life.
Yeah.
If you just do those things, that's from humans thousands of years ago. We're having realizations now in our 30s that humans have had over and over and over again for thousands of years.
Exactly.
It makes me happy and sad at the same time because it means that
it's not original. Yeah.
It's not original. That's what makes me sad.
Yeah.
But what makes me happy is that we're all the same.
Yes.
We've all had such similar struggles for so long.
Yes. So when you're going through it, right?
You don't feel
it's not as catastrophic as it seems in the moment, right? Yeah. So like if you can remind yourself that like, well, that's what gets me through some shit, right? Is like not that per se, but like when knowing that I have gotten through so much in my life, right? And like I've gotten through some really, really tough shit. Like, if something tough comes up tomorrow, like, I'm gonna be alright. I fucking got through that. You know?
Yes. I almost think that's why tough people who have gone through shit make cooler people because you just stress out less.
Yeah.
Because you know that no matter what happens, as long as you're still alive, there's a tomorrow.
Yep.
And again, I
even
feel
if
very
there's not a
fortunate.
tomorrow, it's okay too. Like that's how I feel about things.
Oh, that's
like,
good. See, I'm not at that level yet.
I'm really like because I feel like I have accomplished and fulfilled myself.
Yeah.
Right? And like I feel like a whole person, right? If tomorrow doesn't come, like I'm all right with that.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I never.
I'm not afraid of like what?
Dying?
Yeah, I'm not.
I don't even know.
I don't even think I have a full belief on like where I would go either. You know what I mean? Like
you're okay with it.
But like I'm okay with it because I've lived. I'm a whole person, and that's great, right? I do want to do a lot of things, and like I want to fulfill more things in my life, and like experience more things. But like if I die tomorrow, like I think I would be fine. So I'm not scared to end it, like, or to have it end. I'm not trying to end it. I've got a lot of things to do.
Yeah, I get it. I say shit like that all the time.
Yeah,
like, that came out wrong.
Right. I'm not trying to do all
I get it. I do. I get it. I guess, so, the psychedelics.
Okay. You
did psychedelics earlier?
Yeah. Did throughout my teenage years.
Which ones?
Just mushrooms. Oh, and a little bit of acid.
Okay.
I fucking hated it though.
Really?
But you know
Both
what?
Or just acid?
I kind of like the mushrooms, but like I only did a little bit of those because I'm afraid of losing control. Right? Yeah. So like I stuck to drugs that I knew that I would feel in control and powerful on.
Yeah.
Right? So like when I did do psychedelics, it was kind of fun. Like it was all right. You know what I mean? But like, but I felt out of control, and I didn't want to keep doing them.
Yeah,
so I tried them both.
I could see how shrooms would take you down a path where you could feel very out of control. Yeah. Because it's a mental drug.
Absolutely.
It's like a mind drug. Because I feel like I've done opiates. I've done everything but heroin at this point. Which heroin, heroin's just the injectable version of opioids. Yeah. So I've done all the spectrums, uppers, downers, alcohol, weed. I mean, so like, and opiates I notice don't really change my mind state that much. I still feel like me and in control, but you feel fucked up
and powerful.
Powerful?
I felt powerful.
Powerful. Mm-hmm. Which opioids were you taking? Because when I take them, I feel like a bowl of Jello.
Really?
Oh, they're the best.
Fuck.
Oh my God, they're the best. I sit there. I sit there.
I love being Jello.
I do. But see, because I'm a naturally high person.
Yeah. Yep.
I resonate I'm always excited.
Level,
Every word I got as a kid was the most zealous. Steven, you're too fucking loud. You're most zealous. Yeah. I'm always like, work, business, So when I take them and I'm like,
a little chill,
I'm like, oh, this is nice.
Yeah.
And I just melt.
Sure.
Powerful's not the word I would have used to describe it.
So, because I used them for so long, right? And so much of it, right? Yes, I would get that like Jello feeling or sleepy feeling or whatever, but like no doubt when I was using, I wanted to be moving and like up and about and doing something at all times. So like, because I could do more, I could do it for longer, I could, you know what I mean? Like I had way more stamina than I ever had in my entire life when I was using opiates. Yes.
Wow, that's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to like support your, like say it's good.
Absolutely not.
I just I love hearing. Again, I just grew up so naive. Yeah, that like, and it makes sense because your chemical makeup, your genetic makeup is not my chemical makeup or genetic makeup. Right. So yeah, your reaction to taking opioids might be a totally different reaction.
Yeah, I was powerful. Like I was all over the fucking place. I was doing double, triple, quadruple the amount of shit I was doing in a normal day, right? Because I had the energy for it, and I had like my body fucking is killing me now. You know what I mean? Because of all that abuse I put it through. But like
what do you mean? So I guess I'm confused. If you were more active, harder working, like what was bad?
What was bad about it?
Yeah. Like you said, you put your body through abuse. Like what do you?
So because I couldn't feel the pain, I was putting myself through.
Oh, right? What were you doing when you were on drugs?
I was fucking working double, triple shifts. I was fucking like running drugs for people. Jeez. I was, like I was being abused by other people. There were a lot of really bad shit that happened when I was in the thick of it.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Oh, I'm sure. So, I don't mean to ask to cry, but like because like I said, when I do it, I sit on the couch. I'm not going nowhere. Yeah. I do it in my living, my office.
But because I was so addicted to it, I had to find other ways to get more. Right, so like I couldn't stop.
Comes into it, yeah.
Right,
sure too.
Like I had obviously, right. So I had to get high, right. Maybe I'd be good for half a day, right. But then by the end of the day, I needed to get some for the next morning.
You wanted to be in a constant state of high.
I had to. I was dependent. Or I was sick.
This is my thing.
Oh yeah, sure. At the beginning, yeah, that's where I was at. It's like this feels amazing. I don't want it to stop. And then ended up being everyday use, and like ended up being completely dependent, like physically, on this drug, and then I couldn't stop.
What makes you? So it was because it made you feel so good that you kept chasing it. Because I'll be very honest. Like I use opiates. If I could find them,
sure.
Like if somebody gave them to me, it's like, oh, great, thanks.
Yeah, cool.
Like I do them, and but again, this is as a 30-year-old adult. I run out. Somebody gives me 10, I use them. Like once a weekend or whatever, and then they're gone. And it's just like, all right.
Yeah.
Like I have no. Like I feel good on them. So I'm just trying to understand like the difference in what makes a person get addicted and what doesn't.
So it started as
but it makes sense if you felt
mental
powerful.
Health thing too.
Yeah.
So like okay, let me go back to school, right? Like I never felt like I belonged anywhere, and I had friends, right? I knew everybody. Like everybody really knew me too. Like
you were popular.
Was I?
You're well known.
Listen, okay, everybody knew who I was. That's one thing.
Yeah.
So another thing is nobody called me. Nobody came over to my house. Nobody, like, I would have to interact in order to, like, have friends, you know, and, like, go do things. And the only times that, like, I was ever invited to something is if, like, I kind of inserted myself into it. You know what I mean? So I didn't really belong, but, like, I was well received.
Was it?
If I was.
Do you think that was not your fault?
It could have been my own perception.
Do you think it was you, or do you think it was other people around you?
I don't know.
Because kids could be terrible. I mean,
Absolutely.
We talked about this, but, like, what was the reason for them being terrible to you? Because it was because you were so good at sports. The problem
is they weren't terrible to me. I was not bullied in a way that, like, sure, kids are terrible in some ways, right?
Yeah.
And, like, in middle school and high school, everybody's going through something.
Puberty.
Right. Fuck. Right. But I didn't ever feel like I fit into a group or something, right?
I can feel that 100%.
I fucking played the sport, right? I was really good on the team. We got along on the field. You know what I mean? But, like, did they ever call me after a game? No. Did they ever?
No close friends.
No close friends, except for Katie, who lived across the street from me, Katie Worth. So always has been and always will be my best friend. But she needs to come back to States.
Yeah, I know. I follow her on Facebook. She is quite the military traveler.
Yes. Yeah. So
I remember that. Yeah, I remember you guys went to.
Yeah, well, she lived across the street since we were, like, 2 years old. So, you know what I mean? Like, we got close pretty quickly in life and, like, just never let go. But, like, unfortunately now, though, like, I hardly know her. We've been apart for 10 years, you know?
Friendship takes
different people.
Friendship takes time.
Mm-hmm.
You have to spend time with a person to be close with them. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I have best friends that, like, I have a buddy from boot camp. Okay. That I met in boot camp. We instantly became best friends. I have not seen him since I was 17 years old.
Really?
Called him the other month, just like yesterday.
Yeah.
Just like yesterday.
Yeah.
But I don't know him.
Right.
You know, I don't know him.
Right.
But, like, when we talk, I'm, like, catching up. Like, best friends again.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I know you mean that. And another reason I can empathize with you so much is because in high school I felt the same way. Like, I was friends with everybody, knew everybody, but until my senior year, I didn't develop any real close.
Sure.
You know, middle school and up till senior year, I had no really close friends.
Yeah, sure.
You know
or like a group of friends that we would always do.
Yes. Yeah, I could see them. Like there was people, like for me, guys, obviously.
Yeah.
I seen guys that had their guy friend groups and they always hung out and did shit, and I never did. I just like.
Did you feel left out the whole time? Or was it something that you were comfortable with?
No, I think I felt left out.
Yeah.
But now that I'm older, I understand that that's just being a kid.
Same.
You feel left out because that's your perception at the time. Like, if I had reached out, I probably would have.
Absolutely.
But I was so afraid to reach out.
Yeah.
You know, I just didn't. Yeah. Again, I'm a man of action now.
Yes.
I love myself now. Yeah.
Good.
Everything's my fault. When something goes wrong, it's my fault.
Taking ownership
of everything. Yes. Everything. Like, even if a shitty situation happens, what did I not do before that shitty situation happened to not let that shitty situation happen? Yeah. Extreme ownership. I love it.
Have you read the book?
I didn't even know this book.
There's a book called Extreme Ownership. My boss is making me read it.
Nice. Well, great. Sounds like a great book.
It is.
Who wrote
It's a military thing, too.
Who wrote that?
No, let me tell you.
Google it. But anyways, like, looking back, I was just a scared little kid. And I could have probably reached out to these people and done a little extra to be more of their friend, to get into the friend group. To be,
if you would have made that extra, like, if you would have made the effort and, like, put the time in.
Or just a change. I could have, changed one thing about it.
Jocko Willett.
Oh, my God. I can't believe he's one of my heroes. I knew that.
Yep.
That's probably where I got it from in my head. I'm sorry, Jocko.
You probably did.
When I become famous, don't hate me. Like, I totally knew that. He is one of my heroes.
A lot of really great principles in it. I'm on chapter 3 now, so like.
I have yet to read the book, so you're ahead of me. I follow all his content. Like he's a hero of mine.
He does podcasts and stuff too, right?
No, he's an ex-Navy SEAL.
Right.
He's a badass.
I know. I read all about it.
Yeah. He was on Joe Rogan. Like, I watched a lot of Joe Rogan's podcasts.
Yep.
And he was on it, and that's where I first found about him, and then just like indulged in all his shit. Like, awesome human being.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And that's where I heard
agree
extreme ownership.
Principles.
They work.
Yeah.
They make sense.
Yes.
They're honest. They're true. Extreme ownership is like, yeah, I mean, shitty shit happens, but shitty shit. But like, you could have either prevented it, you could either do better, you can like
take the ownership, own it, change it, right, and then do better next time.
Yes.
That's
there's one of his speeches on YouTube. I'll have to send it to you. It's so freaking motivational. He is just one of the great leaders of our time. He really is. Oh, it's so good. It gets me pumped up just thinking of it.
Gets me going.
Gets me going. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, no, he's awesome. And something else I wanted to ask. Now, I know I asked you about smoking earlier. I want to discuss this because I feel like this is like a thing that happens with a lot of people in instances. Like, I feel like a lot of people know somebody who was an addict.
Yeah.
And then there's people like, hey, do you care if I do this in front of you? And the person's like, yeah, no, I'm cool. But is it really cool?
It depends on where I am, like where my mindset is at.
Yeah.
You know, like, so some days I fucking wish I could.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like today I don't. You know, today I feel like days. So let me tell you.
But don't you think it's rude if I was to like, you're an ex-addict and it could be a problem for you? Like, I don't want to put you in that situation.
Sure.
Even though you say it's okay and I'm like, oh, it's cool, she'll be fine. I feel like I'd be putting you in a situation where like you're smelling it, you're around it. It's not cool. Just don't even ask. It's like one of those things like, don't ask if it's okay.
Sure. I mean,
I want to get your perspective on it because that's just how my mind's working. Like, as I'm thinking about it, like, I asked you, and then instantly after I was like, I shouldn't have even asked. Like, just don't do that in front of me.
Yeah, no. Like, so again, I've got a lot of years under my belt.
Right. No, I don't want to take away from your strength.
No.
It's more.
So are you talking in general? Like,
Well, in general and here. Like, I feel like it's rude to even ask.
It's very personal. Like, so everybody's recovery is a personal journey, right?
Yeah.
My journey, it doesn't bother me. Drinking, weed, like, maybe if somebody was friggin' doing a line on the table, it might make me feel a little fucked up, but you know what I know how to do? Fucking get out of there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I have tools that keep me safe from me.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I know how to save myself from myself. And you know who I have people to call for that kind of stuff. Like, I have.
Yeah, but I don't want to have to put you in that situation.
Correct. So
that's what I'm saying.
So it's those extreme things that might put me in that situation. That
just doesn't see.
It doesn't bother me.
So you can't even smoke weed?
No, I just don't. I choose not to.
Really?
Right? Because I'm afraid that as soon as I start altering, right? Well, sort of, yeah. As soon as I start altering my mind in any way, and it feels better than how I feel on a daily basis, right? I'm gonna want to just stay in that state.
Yeah.
You know, like when I stopped vaping, right? I started to feel like I don't know what to do with my state of mind anymore. So I like started drinking extra caffeine because it gave me a little bit more of a boost. And I was like, I like this better than feeling like that, you know? So I had to stop. I had to slow down on the caffeine too.
Yeah.
You know, because I was starting to like feel like I'm addicted to something else again. And like,
I think we're all addicted to something.
Sure, maybe. Yeah.
No. I think just like that analogy I made about eating.
Yes.
How like we're all at some point craving something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Think about it. If somebody enjoys to do something and they do it on a regular basis,
because they like it.
Biking, they are addicted to biking. It's just that it doesn't have the negative consequences of I like feeling fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I don't think anybody would agree that if you felt good, like it's a bad thing, but it leads you to do bad things. It leads you down a path.
Yes.
But like we're all, I don't know a single person that just sits there. Everybody's got something.
It just feels good existing.
Yeah, it just exists.
Nothing, yeah.
No, we all have some kind of addiction to something.
Sure, yeah.
Like all of us. Like if it's sports, if it's gambling, if it's alcohol, if it's drugs, if it's eating, if it's... I don't know a single human being that's not addicted to something.
But for me, as an addict, right, I go to the extremes with all of it. So,
good perspective.
So when I start drinking extra caffeine because I like how it makes me feel, right? Oh no, I'm drinking it all day long, and like I'm actually hurting myself at that point, right?
Imbalance.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And then like I'm looking forward to the next cup, and then I'm preparing when I'm gonna have the next one, and you know what I mean. Like I'm starting to like
feel like an addict,
think like too much about
because
it.
I like kind of do that in my mind.
Well, when it interrupts your life, in a way,
right. See, that's a difference for me. It doesn't, but that's just because I'm a very planned person.
Oh, that's
because I do.
Yeah.
Like I do know I'm going to get a caffeine buzz, so I can't wait for my morning coffee. But it's not like I.
If you missed it, it wouldn't be a dramatic scene. You know what I mean? For me, it might be. You know, like I might be super angry about it because I thought about it all night. Woke up the next morning, and then all of a sudden, like all the grounds are on the floor. Like I'm like fucking pissed and like mad at everybody else. You know.
Tell me if
careful.
Tell me if this line of thinking is wrong.
Okay.
It's not. I don't mean it to sound offensive.
I wouldn't be offended anyway.
Good. The fear of addiction sounds to me a lot like discipline.
Okay.
I look at life in the eyes of discipline.
Okay.
So I approach things from, I'm so strong, I'm going to make myself do this. I have such discipline, I'm not going to do this. Whereas I feel like a lot of addiction is kind of like, I'm not going to do this because I'm afraid of what's going to happen. But what you really have is great discipline.
Now I do. Yeah. So
now, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
so not addiction, but recovery is great discipline. That's what that is.
Yeah, but then why are you afraid of becoming addicted again?
Because of the evidence that I have from prior experience.
But that's because you didn't have discipline. Because of you were young. That was the first time you did it.
Because of the substance, though, right? Like.
See, that's where I'm arguing is you just went down that path at an early age and you became addicted. Mm-hmm. Whereas I didn't go down that path, and now I do things out of discipline. I don't indulge food, drugs, alcohol, this, that, or the other, because I know they're not bad for me and I have discipline. You see what I'm saying?
I do.
I'm not trying to compare it. I'm not trying to say that they're comparative, but like in my head, I'm seeing these two things and they have very similar qualities and tendencies.
Sure.
And it's like, we're kind of talking about the same thing, but we're using different words.
In a way, yeah, absolutely. But I think, so the way that I see it is if I were to pick up the thing that I like the most, which was opiates, again, I would just be picking up where I left off, right? My brain isn't the same as yours or somebody else that is normal, right?
Right.
Where, like, you can do it and then the next day you're not, like, freaking out that you don't have it again.
Right.
You know what I mean? Me, I do it and my brain goes, I need more of that. You know what I mean? Because
I'm like, you obsessed.
It's like a mental health. It's like a mental disease.
No,
it is obsessive, and I in general get obsessed about a lot of things. Yeah. But like have to reel myself in.
No, I get it.
And stop doing those things in order not to go insane, right? So with drugs, number one, it chemically changes me. Number two, I become obsessed and crazy about it, and then number three, it ruins my entire life. So I have evidence that says I have evidence from other people and myself that if I pick up a drug, right, I will just pick up where I left off. Yeah. And then it just gets worse every time. So I've seen it.
And your discipline is knowing that and not doing it.
Correct. And what's the harm in not doing it?
No, nothing.
You know what I'm saying? I would rather not know.
Right.
Than pick up a drug.
I understand it. I'll never feel it. I understand it, but I'll never understand it.
Yeah.
Because my discipline is just by choice.
Yes.
I have discipline because I want to. You have discipline because you know you need to.
Yes.
Yeah. That's good. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That should be a clip.
That's a clip.
That's a clip. Make that a clip.
Yep.
That was good.
That was good.
Sean has. I hope I'm not blowing up the spot. I've said it like 3 times now. Has like anxiety. Yeah. If I have to cut it, I'll cut it. He has like anxiety, like genetic anxiety.
Yeah.
Like right into him, can't get it out. Yeah. Except now he is kind of getting it out by working out and being really disciplined.
Yes. Yeah.
But I didn't understand anxiety again, like I didn't understand addiction.
Yeah.
Until so I'm a hunter.
Okay.
And I have shot a lot of deer, and I'm a bow hunter. Yeah. And I had an instance where a very, very large buck came out of the woods one day. And I've been sitting in the tree stand for hours at that point. Yeah. Hours. Cold and uncomfortable and just bored. And this big, giant buck starts walking down. And instantly I start like shaking.
Yeah.
Like
adrenaline starts
shaking. Buck fever. Right? So I grab my bow real careful and I get it locked on and I'm getting ready and he's walking, and I pull back to shoot and I have these things on the end of my arrow called Luminox. So they light up when you release, they light up.
Cool.
Yeah, super cool. It's awesome because if it sticks in them, then you can kind of see it, and at night it gets dark, it's hard.
Find it, yeah.
But what I like about them is when I shoot, I can see where the arrow's going. It's
That's
so
awesome.
cool. Well, not this time.
Oh,
because I named this buck Branch because I did it 3 times. I was so focused on the buck that I knew he was behind a tree, but I was like, when you're in that adrenaline rush moment, you can't. The details elude you. So the tail end of a branch, I mean, just that much was right in front of where I was shooting it. I didn't see it. Just saw the buck. And when I shot, it went zzz, and I could see the light, and it went ping! And he ran away. And I wanted to cry, and I think I might have cried.
You probably did, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I was so...
Yeah, when that adrenaline is now releasing because it's over.
Oh. So I tell him this to Sean at the bar.
Yeah.
And this is like days after it happened.
Okay.
And
so
I think
super fresh.
Yeah. I probably told him twice or 3 times already the same story.
Yeah.
And then he looks at me one day and I'm like staring. He's like, "What are you thinking about?" I'm like, "This net buck." And he goes, "That's anxiety." I'm like,
Yeah.
Bing! I was like, "Oh my God, I had this realization." I'm like, "I'm so sorry." I could empathize with him because no matter what I did, all I could think about was that shot. Over and over and over and over and over and over and over until enough time had passed that eventually, even right now, I can remember it clear as day, and it makes me so upset.
Yeah.
But that's anxiety.
Yeah. It is.
Just never having experienced that he's got that chronically, like genetically.
Yes.
So it just made me understand like addiction and anxiety and depression so much more because I could, for one moment, put myself into that person's shoes. Not that I could understand chronic anxiety, depression, addiction, but like, whoa. And I could just empathize that much more with people.
Having something to relate it to and like physically feeling it at one point in your life will give you that empathy, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's just amazing that you're making those connections, though.
Yeah.
Because if you didn't, you know what I mean? You'd be so fucking closed-minded to how people
I'd be a dick. I'd be like a lot of people.
Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Just get over it. You know, type of logic. You know?
And becoming like this has made me not like people that are much older and still so nasty. Because it's like you've had your whole life, and I know you've had instances where you've had this opportunity to learn and grow and change, and you've chosen not to. And it's almost like on purpose.
It
Ignorance.
feels very intentional. You're right.
Doesn't it?
It is.
It makes me not like them that much more. Even though I don't care
I know,
about what they think about me.
Let them have it. If they want to live like that, that's sorry for them.
Doesn't it make you sad? I get sad about angry, frustrated people. I do. I feel pity.
That's how I continue to have empathy towards everyone. Right? It's even the people that are even like you see internet videos of Karens, right? I'm like, that's crazy, but I also feel very bad for that woman. I feel bad for the victims that
their reality has to suck.
Right? Like number one, who taught you that was okay? Number 2, you're older than me. Like you've had all this time to figure this out. That was not okay to say or do or act like.
There's many 40, 50, 60, 7-year-olds that I meet that I'm like, I'm more mature than you.
Yeah.
You might be twice my age, but you're a little kid. Yeah. It's so crazy.
I know.
And then I feel empathy for them because I think about, like you said, what caused you to be that? What happened to you to make you that bad?
Right. Or I feel bad for them that they were taught that way. You know what I mean? Like, they didn't have a shot. You know, like sometimes it's just generational, and it just comes right down the line, and that's just how they learn it.
I think that wording is you have to be careful.
Sure.
It's not always taught. I think it's inherited almost.
So it's taught in a way because it's what you're observing. So
but taught insinuates intention.
It was on purpose. Yeah.
Intention.
Yeah.
If I'm a drunk and I'm coming home and my kid sees me being a drunk and beating my wife, and then he grows up to be a drunk wife beater, I didn't teach him that. Intentionally. Well, that's teaching, but that's the word teach.
Okay.
Is what I'm saying.
It's very. I think
that person inherited that behavior.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Because when people say
how about
teach,
learned behavior.
Learned.
Yeah.
That is the word. That's what you hear about these.
Yeah.
It's learned behavior.
It is.
Yeah, because I don't think of that person's intentionally teaching.
Right.
Teaching to me insinuates intention.
No, you're right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think a big part of the podcast is like, I want, if somebody makes it this far, that like, oh my God, that's right. Like, yeah, I have to be more careful with my word selection because it's not just, you know what I mean? Damn, that thing is loud. It was so quiet here for a while.
It was, for a long time.
Yeah.
Did it get cold?
Am I cold?
Did it get cold in here?
Probably, yeah. I mean, the thermostat's set to 68.
Oh.
But yeah, it doesn't. I like that thing because it doesn't run that long, and it gets really warm in here really quick. Yeah, it's very small. No, my building's huge.
It's huge.
You just can't see behind the camera. It's massive in here. I'm a very successful business owner. Very successful.
Yeah, listen to everything you say.
Yeah. No, yeah, I think about a lot of this stuff often.
Yeah.
Often. And I just wanted to talk about it.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that by being careful with my word selection and having these conversations and recording them and then people listening to them, they can be like, you know what? I should be more careful with my word selection. I should think about the details. I should take the time to really try to understand something because when you do, everything seems to make a lot more sense. Mm-hmm. And then things kind of get better. And I want things to get better.
For everyone.
For everybody.
Jesus, yeah.
I know.
I want everyone to be happier. You know, and I don't want this world, like, I don't want people around me to always feel stressed and anxiety about what's going on around them. And, you know, like, it's going to be okay. Like, we're going to be okay.
Yes.
Right? As long as we believe we're going to be okay, like, most of the time that's the case.
Yes.
So,
my reality, my vision,
right?
Why I stopped caring about others' thoughts about me, not in a negative way, like I don't care about you. It's just that I'm not letting myself make up this weird version of what I think you think about me.
Yes. Yeah.
And then ruining my day. Mm-hmm. You know, that was like a big mindset change for me. Is realizing that I'm making up these scenarios of what I think they're thinking. Because I can't read their mind. I can't read your mind.
No.
I have no idea what you're thinking right now.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm not going to I'm not even going to sit here and go, oh yeah, you know, she hates my guts. Like, oh my God, I hate my life because like, oh, it's such anxiety. Like, stop.
Yeah.
Just, it's so simple to just stop. That's not simple.
Well,
it takes practice.
Yeah, it does take practice. So that's what I'm trying to teach my daughter that now, right?
Because you meditate?
No, I don't meditate. I do more of a daily reflection. Like, I do it daily because it happens daily, not because I intentionally do it daily, right? So, like, because I know better, I see things differently. I don't intentionally, but I daily reflect on what's happening around me.
You're meditating. It's a form of meditation.
It is a form of meditation.
You're not sitting there going,
sitting and doing the ums and anything like that.
Obviously, I don't either, but I sit and I just think.
Yeah, I don't distract myself all day long.
Yeah. That's meditation.
Yeah.
That's meditation. That's really good.
So again, I'm trying to teach the kid that, right? I'm like, dude, you gotta stop thinking about what other people think about you. Like, be you authentically, because I never did.
But don't you remember being a kid?
I do.
And remember people telling you this?
Yes.
I think part of it is like when you're a kid, you don't have the ability to be that rational.
Yeah.
It takes some life to happen to you.
Yeah.
to get to this point.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree.
That's my biggest fear about what's happening now with government and what they're talking about doing with kids and the trans rights and the trans conversation and the mental health. It's like, it's a lot. And now they're trying to talking to kids about this. And I'm like, I think you might be barking up the wrong tree. No matter how much we try to educate them, teach them, make them do this, make them do that, you almost have to allow them to make their own mistakes, grow up a little bit, have some years under your belt, and then talk to them about it.
Sure, yeah.
You know?
No, I agree with let them make mistakes. Let them fail. Let them fall, right? And let them learn by
experience.
Right, exactly.
Experience.
Because that's how I had to do it. I'm sure you had to do the same thing. It's like learning from experience and maybe not failing as much as I did. You still have to. You still had stumbles.
Something.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Everybody does. So
I think about that a lot often too. It's like the way that a person gets made is their experiences through life, and we all have different experiences, but we get so close to the end points of what we become are still so similar. But it's so crazy because of all the little factors that play into it.
Sure.
Oh, it's wild. Because how did we come to such similar revelations?
Viewpoints, yeah, exactly.
But totally different lives.
Paths. Absolutely. I don't know.
Do you know what I'm saying?
So crazy.
And then that makes me think that there are rights and wrongs to life.
Mm-hmm.
Because if we're getting to the same place that seems to be a pretty good place, that some things have to be better than others. Some things have to be right and some things have to be wrong.
Huh.
Do you see what I'm saying?
I do.
It's kind of mind-blowing.
I never thought of that.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I have them thoughts a lot. I waste a lot of time thinking.
No. You think it's a waste of time?
Yes.
Do you?
Because lately I've been
doing
stuff. Life.
Do you not get enough done?
No.
What is happening?
Yeah, it's a problem.
Oh, okay.
I think I have a perfectionist, even though I do nothing perfect. I have a perfectionist mentality.
Okay.
In the sense that everything has to be right. I have to be doing something. I have to be progressing. I have to be making money. I have to be finishing this task. I have to be spending time with the kids. I have to go to sleep on time. I have to. Everything's I gotta. There's never a time where I can just
be content. You're never content.
I have had moments of contentness lately because I've been practicing my discipline.
Good.
And it feels really good. And I'm like, it's okay to be okay. It's okay to be cool.
In this moment.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes. But it's definitely, that's one of my things is I gotta. And that's not okay. And I forgot where I was going.
That's obsession. That's an addiction, by the way.
Thanks.
That's obsessive compulsive behavior, which associates with addiction, right?
Well, I mean, if you were to take a list,
for it. A lot of it's good for you, right? The way that you do it.
That's what I'm saying.
Right?
It's all about the.
But you even said it. There was a negative aspect to that. It's you'd be right. You spend a lot of time. You spend a lot of time doing that, and you'd be doing something else that may be a little bit more beneficial to you in your life. So that is a consequence of that action, right?
But it's arguable.
I
spend time with my kids. I spend time with my wife. I make a good amount of money. I have a lot of stuff.
Sure.
I'm fairly happy. You know? Yeah, I struggle with that. Because I know it doesn't feel 100% right. Right. But it's not bad.
No, it's not ruining your life.
Right.
But
okay, if it's not ruining my life.
It made you want to start a podcast because you wanted to no, but it's more to align you.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Right? And
alignment and balance.
Get it balanced.
Yes.
In a way. So you're doing something about it.
I do feel the need for a sense of balance.
Yes. Because it can be crazy thinking about it.
Yeah.
Right? And you can feel I know I can get hyper fixated on a certain topic or a hobby or whatever. And it will make me feel out of control.
Yes.
And that's my addictive personality.
Oof. Yeah, I think we're all very, very similar in that sense.
We all have a lot of that, yeah.
We all have some. That's what I mean. I feel like we're all a little bit addicted to something. Sure. We all have a little bit of obsessiveness, but it's just with what and how does that fit into our world?
Yeah.
I say a lot, and I hate it. I've been trying to consciously I've been trying to work on not saying that. Because again, it doesn't seem right.
It's just a filler word.
I know. But you hear and watch videos of great linguists and they don't say like. And I'm like, I want to be a great linguist. I'm trying. But it's hard. I say it without even thinking. It falls into the conversation without me even noticing. Like that one time.
Yeah, right.
You know, it's like, it's like, you know, and I notice a lot of people have that tendency with so.
Oh.
You ever notice that?
Yeah, I do.
So, it's like, where'd that come from?
Yeah,
you know, but
sometimes it doesn't fit.
No,
right?
But I've noticed people use it a lot, and especially when the conversation finds a pause or a silence.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking, what's going on?
So
yeah.
Oh yeah.
It just seems to be quite the filler.
It is. No, it is. Yeah.
Good conversation.
Yeah.
I probably should start wrapping up. Is there anything else you want to talk about? We've covered politics, religion, money, your journey, and what you do now.
Yep.
And we got your 5-year goals. I mean, we've covered a lot of ground.
Yeah.
I haven't had any silly conversations yet. Which no, I shouldn't say that. Me and Sean have, but it wasn't an official podcast.
Okay.
So I'm gonna have to have him back on because he's my science, outer space, aliens, physics.
I was going to ask
guy.
you. I have a question.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you what you thought about. So we were talking about spirits.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
What do you think an afterlife looks like? Number one.
Oof.
And what? Just it doesn't have to be a firm belief either. Like I don't have a firm belief either. Yeah. You know, and I'm perfectly cool with that.
Yeah.
But I believe in an afterlife that I can choose, right? Like I believe in ghosts. I'll just put it out there.
That's
right?
That's like a lot of people do.
I believe in like
a lot of people do.
Being able to choose whether you stay or you go somewhere else. You know, so I want to know.
on astral planes type thing, or like another dimension, another realm.
Yes.
Is that how you perceive it? Because I'm agnostic.
Yeah.
The reason I'm agnostic is I do believe in a higher power, like a God type character, but I don't think it's like a physical being or like a shape
or a place to go.
No, it's just like God is an energy.
Yes,
that's why in the Bible it says that He is in everything. He is everything. He is. We just can't comprehend whatever He is because we're human beings.
Yep.
And I've said this on every podcast. Humans can't understand a circle. We truly, I know you think you do, but we can't.
Sure.
Where did it start? Where did it stop?
Yeah.
Everybody will say that. Like, somebody had to, but a true circle never started, never stopped. Right. What if this God character, the universe I like to call it, or just always has been, and it's everywhere and everything, and it's watching us, but it's not, and it's judging us, but it's not, it controls us, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
It's just, it is.
Yeah.
And I've been feeling, I'm a vibrations guy.
Okay.
I believe in vibrational energy, and this is a science fact. Everything is vibrating.
Okay. Yeah.
At different frequencies.
I've heard
this table's moving. Yeah. The atoms in it are always moving.
Yeah.
Everything's moving. It's just that like my vibration and this vibration
are not aligned anymore.
No, and that's the reaction. Like I hit it as a solid.
Yeah. Okay.
But everything's vibrating, right?
Yeah.
So I truly do believe if I'm a positive person all the time, and I feel great, and I feel like I'm buzzing. Like you never notice when you're in a really good mood and you got caffeine, which like puts you in that mood. Yeah. You feel like you're buzzing. Yeah, you feel like you're vibrating.
Yeah. And
I truly believe if you are super positive, you vibrate at a higher frequency, and that it's not like the hooey like it comes to you, but you're just gonna be in a different place in this thing we call Earth and the world because you're positive and you're vibrant, right? And I feel like she is energy that we'll never freaking understand.
No, I'm sure we won't.
But it presides over everything.
Okay.
That's what so the afterlife, I think maybe we go to a place and it's like, hey, do you want to live a life as a crocodile on Zoltan?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to try that ride. Like my spirit goes down. I'm going to try that ride. Like this is a ride. But it wouldn't be the ride of the human experience if we knew that we were spirits.
Oh my God, right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like you come here as a baby, you don't know anything. Like that's the game. Like that's you're trying
love that.
You know?
Yes.
Because it's just there's no way that our spirits and our energies just
right.
Like when you die.
Right.
There's no way.
Where the fuck does it go?
Yeah. It could be a reality of all mirrors and you're a mirror being or whatever. Or
sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah, but in that reality, like that's you completely understand it because that's you're born and like or you start or whatever the fuck it is. Like it could be totally not this game. Yeah. This game is you're born as a baby and a human on this planet, but when you go to that reality, it's this completely different type of thing.
Something we can't fathom.
No.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
That other game could be a 1,000,000-year game.
Ooh.
This game's a 100-year game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I kind of wish that. Well, so I'll tell you what I believe. I believe. I
forgot your questions other than
that's okay. You got it. Yeah, okay, good. You got it. I mean, you basically said like it could be all these things, right?
Yes.
So like your afterlife could be. Again, it's not
I think there's
solid.
Something,
nobody knows.
No, I think there's something after.
Yeah, you could go somewhere, and then it could be a different type of reality than what we have. Yes. So I get that, right? I'm hoping that I can stay here, a little bit longer, and then choose where I feel like going after the fact. So as like a ghost? I have a list.
As like a ghost?
I have a list of people that I will literally go visit and fuck with for probably a month, and then just disappear, right? Like that's the plan. When I die, I told my mom, I told my kid, I said, when I die, I'm coming back, right? It was like, I will be here. You'll know that I'm here because I'm doing something stupid. Like I'm not trying to scare her. Yeah. Like I don't ever want to like be the type of ghost that's like fucking moving couches and like being evil and exactly, or like scratching you or whatever. Yeah. Like what I want to do is like turn all your cups up on the other side, like in your cabinet, and then you open them and it looks all different. You know how people like turn them upside down in their cabinet, right? Yeah. So like dust and stuff doesn't get in. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna flip them all. I'm gonna flip everything. If I can, as a ghost, I'm gonna flip all of them.
Just to fuck with that person.
Just to fuck with them. Just for fun.
I like that. I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility.
No, it's not. Right.
Because so many people have said they've had experience with ghosts, I believe.
Me
I don't personally believe because I've never had an experience with them. So I have no evidence to the contrary.
So nobody has any I don't know. I guess there is some evidence. Like I want to say that there's solid evidence of an afterlife and ghosts and whatever, but like they can be argued both ways in a scientific term or in scientific world or a spiritual world. Like it can be argued. So like I'm not firm on whether it's real evidence or not, but I want it to be.
Oh, of course.
You know what I'm saying? Like I want it to be complete. And I've had an experience when I was little. Like
really?
I used to go to my cousin's house. Yeah. I used to go to my cousin's house, and it may have just been the fact that she told me that it was haunted that I like started to feel like it might have been. I think that's
a lot of it.
Yeah, it's like your brain is like fabricating things, right? But like I woke up in the middle of the night. So you remember futons?
Yeah, right? Remember, I still have one.
Do you? I think I have one in the basement too.
Come on.
So we were both sleeping on the futon, and you know how the legs are on the ends.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I woke up in the middle of the night for whatever reason. It was like the second floor, like attic bedroom type in a cape, you know.
Yep.
And I look at the end of the bed and there's like a lady standing there, like almost flowy, right? And I was like, fuck that. So I put the covers over my head, didn't move, like couldn't speak, and then I woke up maybe another 45 minutes later because I fell back asleep. Scared as hell still, right?
Yep.
And I couldn't move my whole body.
Sleep paralysis.
Right. I go, what the fuck? And then I had to just wait till morning until she woke up, my cousin.
Yep.
Right? Had another experience like that after my grandmother passed when I was 13.
Really?
Right? She came into my room, walked into the room, stood at the end of the bed, just looked at me, right? And then fucking walked out, went to my mom's room, my parents' room.
What? I'm playing devil's advocate.
Yes, please. I love that.
What's to say that these aren't dreams that seem so realistic?
So real and that I feel so awake. I've never had another like that though.
True.
I've never had a dream that I didn't. So I've had very vivid dreams recently too because of fucking nicotine patches. Because you've been off of it. Nicotine patches for like a couple of weeks I took. Yeah. So like just to like start off with. Yeah. On those, you have the most vivid fucking dreams. Like I thought they were so real.
I quit smoking for like a week and the dreams were great.
Yeah, I bet they were. Yeah. So you feel like even those types of dreams,
they're
like,
still dreams.
They're still dreams. Like you wake up and you're like, that was a real dream. You know what I mean? Or like you start to forget it right away, like when you wake up, or like you remember some details, but like can't remember all of it. So it was a dream. Yeah. So like these ones though, these experiences,
they seem like memories.
It's a memory. I was awake, right? In my mind, I was awake. It may have been a dream, but I don't.
Yeah, right.
I don't freaking know what it was, but like I attributed to maybe it was a ghost experience. You know what I mean? That was. And I can say it was, because nobody knows if it's real or not.
That's your reality. That's your reality.
That's correct.
That's what blows my mind so much is we can do all the talking we want in the world, all the scientific tests, all the things, blah, blah, blah. Whatever person we're referring to or like myself, this is all I've ever known is my reality.
Your perception.
My perception. Yes. That's all that's it. Mm-hmm. Like, I can read all the books I want, but like this could just be my fabrication of reality.
That's correct. It's so crazy.
It freaks me out thinking like that.
Yeah, that's heavy, right?
So I did shrooms at a Shack concert.
Yeah, I need to hear this too.
At a Shack concert.
No.
Yeah. So I've never been to a rave before. It was at Riverside, Riverworks or whatever.
Riverworks, yeah.
And I thought I was being a badass. Like, oh, these mushrooms aren't bothering me. And then, like, an hour later, I'm like, I don't really feel that much. I'm like,
oh my God, no.
Yeah, so, and then I go into the concert, and it's like, it's a rave, man. It's wild. And it was just so much that I couldn't handle it that I had to leave. Like, within 15 minutes of getting in, half an hour of being in there. Get back to my vehicle, and my wife, like, took me out, and her sister came with her. Like, are you okay? You okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm just... I'm freaking out. But then there was a point where they put me in the car. Yeah. I'm in the passenger seat just to kind of like calm down.
Yeah.
And they're out back talking. And at that point, all time, I don't know how long that was. Like it could have been 5 minutes. It could have been 5 hours. It felt like forever. It felt like I was sitting in that seat forever. And then there was a point where like all this went away and I'm somewhere. And I just remember being so terrified. And I was like, nope, I want to go back to the game. I love the game. Like, I thought about, the Matrix? You know the scene from The Matrix where he's like, I know this steak is fake, but it tastes so damn good right now. I love the game. I don't want to. And I remember feeling like that. I'm like, I don't want to die. I don't want to be dead. I want to go back. Like, please.
Yeah.
And then it kind of got better. And I just had like this crazy trip. Just like, it just made me realize that like fabric of reality and time and space was like a thing. And like it could be distorted so easily.
Yeah, that's where your chemical, like body chemical thing came about.
And then I like came back.
Like,
and my wife was like, hey, are you okay?
Manipulated so easily, you don't even buy a chemical. Is it real?
I don't know.
We're back around.
We're right back where we started. That's the great mystery.
Holy shit, yeah.
I kind of want to do a guided super trip.
Oh, cool, yeah.
Because I want to see, because I think I just had like a glimpse. I had a glimpse. And it was scary because I was in a scary environment.
Sure, yeah. It wasn't controlled. Yeah,
no.
Absolutely.
So it made me even more curious because I want to have like almost a super trip, but in a very calm, guided area.
Have you heard of ayahuasca?
Yes.
Yeah. I've heard of it. Yeah. Like, and I know for me, like I would be too afraid to do it. Like
You think you get addicted to ayahuasca?
No,
I heard it's terrible. The actual process.
No, it is.
You're throwing up, and I can't see how anybody.
I'm afraid of the process. That's all. Right? Like,
how so?
I don't want to get sick. Right? I don't want to feel terrible during the process.
You're afraid of being sick after all the shit you've been through?
Yeah,
You're afraid of being sick?
Yeah.
What if you become like a beautiful butterfly at the other end of your journey?
I'm also afraid of the trauma that'll come up.
But don't you think that's what trauma is doing to you right now? That you're repressing it because you're afraid of it coming up? Maybe. What if because it comes up, you mentally deal with it, and you're a happier person. Just like most of the people who have gone on an ayahuasca journey who come out on the other side and are like, oh, it feels great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I do.
I'm not trying to convince you to do it.
Well,
I'm just,
right,
I feel like part of my job here is to make you realize.
Now, right? Like, so maybe in the future, maybe when I'm 50, maybe at that time, it would be something that I would be interested in doing to like clear that trauma, right? Yeah. But right now is not a good time for me. You know what I mean? Like, it scares me more than I think it would relieve. You know, so like
valid thought. I mean,
at some point, maybe. And I'm definitely not like closed-minded at all.
Yeah,
I definitely think that there are tools out there that can help like clear trauma out of your body.
Right.
You know, like I'm totally.
But you don't need it right now. You're not game for it right now.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think life is very situational, and I think we all, again, it's your reality. If you're not ready for it, when the universe says it's right for you and you say it's right, it'll happen.
Yes, exactly.
You
know, that's how my life has always been. Right?
That's cool.
Like when I was most ready for things, that's when they
happened.
Right, and that's my higher power too. Like that's what I believe. My higher power will place things in my life when I'm ready for them. So like I have to believe in the journey and not force things in my life all the time. Like
I like how you said that, not all the time, because I believe in a very intentional life. And this might be my I gotta mentality thing.
Sure.
But I try to live a very intentional life. Mm-hmm. I do what I want. Nothing's gonna happen to me. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna do stuff.
Sure, yeah.
That's like a mentality of mine, though.
I also believe in always continuously improving myself. Yes. But I don't believe that I can force things to happen.
Ooh, that's hard to understand, but I'm liking
it.
I'm analyzing it.
Okay.
I get what you're saying. No, I'm trying to say these things out loud because a lot of times people will just sit there and you're like, "Are you okay? Do you get it?" And I'm like, "No, I get it. I'm okay, but I'm processing it because it." I don't want to cut you off, but there's a point I want to make about life.
Yeah.
It's just that I feel like a majority of our lives are knee-jerk reactions. It truly takes thinking about something to make good decisions. But a lot of us just hear something and make a decision. Hear something and make a decision. Like something happens, I'm going to do it. I'm and I react. And I really try to when people ask me questions that I got employees that ask me hey, let me take a second.
Sure.
Let me think about this. This is what I would do. Or if somebody says something to me we're talking, and you're like, yeah, I'm like, okay, I got to think. It's not a word thing. It's I don't know what's happening up there. But it's not a word. It's not words.
No, it's not.
It's like the brain's doing something. It's processing, and I'm like,
fitting it into your beliefs.
That's what
it's doing.
Yeah.
So
my understanding.
Correct.
My understanding.
Your understanding, not beliefs, but your understanding of what I said.
Words.
You're right. You're right. You have to use them, right?
Yeah.
No, I totally agree with you.
Yeah, so I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're fine.
But I try to really be intentional in my taking time to understand things.
That's really good. I love that.
I'm trying. I'm really trying. Been really trying. Just trying.
The journey you're on right now.
Yeah, it's a weird spot to be in my life. Mm-hmm. It's a weird spot to be in life because, like we were saying, I don't feel content often, but I think you can't feel content but also be trying super hard.
Yeah, no, I think I get that. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I do.
They're just not compatible emotions.
They're not. You're right. You can't have both at the same time.
You can't.
You can't.
Can't be high. Can't be low at the same time. Yeah.
No, I've had a lot of times where I've been very content with where it was at, but then quickly upward of it.
Yeah.
Right, because I was like, well, I'm not really.
Yeah.
Let me go do something else, or let me learn something else, or let me talk to more people.
But I think that's part of the life balance that even you don't even know you're doing.
That's true.
I've had that happen to me. 6 months ago, I was in a low spot.
Yeah.
Just not doing much. And when I say low, I don't mean I wanted to kill myself.
No, right.
I was just not doing much. Mm-hmm. Just going through the motions and coming home, watching TV, talking to my wife, the kids, my friends, and but to me, that was like a low spot in my life. I just, low vibration, just wasn't doing much.
Right. Well, yeah, it didn't motivate you, right? No. It didn't bring extra joy into your life. No. So, like, it's funny because when you made that post about this podcast, right? Yeah. I'm in this like upward hill of wanting to feel better and do better and reach out more and be more social. And
I was a little shocked. I'm not gonna lie.
I go. Let me just freaking come out here, and let me go do this. You know what I mean? Because if you said everybody and anybody,
everybody and anybody,
freaking going.
I meant it.
What I mean?
I meant it.
And I know that I know not to sound cocky or anything. Like you said, you don't want to sound like you're bragging, right? Like I know for a fact that I have good things to say. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I feel like I could help somebody.
Yes.
If they heard things that I have to say.
100%.
So that's what gives me joy.
Yeah.
Right? So when you said that, I was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm not going to lie. I am shocked at the amount of people who have reached out to me, called me, texted me, commented, tagged me. I was like, it kind of makes you feel a little popular. I'm not going to lie.
Sure.
I was like, woo, there's so many people. Yeah. You know, it's an innate, it happens.
You now,
yeah. Oh, no, it's taking on a thing of its own. Yes. And everybody keeps asking me, where can I find it? And I'm like,
I know.
Now I'm starting to get anxiety about okay, now I got to get my shit together. I got to get this posted so people can listen. I got to put links up. And so there's work that comes with it. Because this part, to me, is so freaking easy. Yeah. I could do this every day for the rest of my life.
I can help you.
Thank you, please. I'm.
You just gotta find a way to get it to me, right?
And I know. I can't even get the videos off my phone.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It was
we'll work on it. I mean, after we stop this podcast, I don't want it to interrupt our podcast. We'll spend a little bit of time of. I'll go through some of the stuff like that because, I'm a monkey. You know, I wash my hands often,
and your little stained up there.
It will not come out. It's almost like work gave me a tattoo. It is. They are tattoo. You cannot get these out. Oh my hands are permanently dirty because I'm always doing monkey stuff. You know what I mean?
Sound like that when you're doing it too.
Yeah. I'm like, hey, give me a nail. But I can't. I know how to start to record and I know how to set up the record. Okay, that's it. I don't know what to do next. But I know this is valuable. Yeah. I know this is valuable. It is, that was I'm a dream guy. I'm I'm a boss. I've come to accept that I'm a visionary. I'm a leader.
Absolutely.
I'm a boss. Mm-hmm. But that's what I'm good at, and I suck at the rest of the shit. Yeah, so
that's where you get the help, right?
Yeah, and I think a really good Jocko. I think a really good leader, and I have my affirmations I wrote down that I repeat. Yeah, because it's not like a hooey-fooey thing. It's it's a mental practice thing. Mm-hmm. By saying those things, I'm reminding myself every day, and it makes you feel a certain way. If the universe wants to bless me because I say these things every single day, great. Yeah. But it's not what I'm doing it for. I'm doing it because it's discipline. It's so one of my affirmations is I want to be a great, I have a bunch of things I want to be great at. I want to be a great dad. I want to be a great husband. I want to be a great outdoorsman. But what I want to be is a great leader. Okay. Because I feel like I'm a natural, I've just always found myself in leadership positions growing up. And I want to be a really great leader. And being a great leader means that you know when you suck at something and when you're really good at something. and knowing when to lean on people. Yeah. Because I suck at that part and I'm going to lean on you to
you got it.
Help me get it to the public.
Yep. Don't worry, we'll get you there.
Yes, good. But with that, I think we've covered a lot. We are 2 hours, 45 minutes in.
High five. Good
right?
One. That was a good one.
That was good. Mm-hmm. That's all I got. Thanks for being my great guest. Bye, everybody.